Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of Build, Paint, Play. I'm Dave.
Greetings, programs. I'm Jake. Today we're going to be joined by a good friend of mine and a friend of the show. Dave's met him a bunch of times. Our buddy Allen Panakal.
Woohoo!
Oh, it's actually on now. Hey, what's up?
We are indeed live. Fantastic.
There was a slight delay.
All good.
Cool.
And Allen and I have unknowingly matched again.
Here we are.
Check it out. I don't get it. What is
So
it?
we're both big Robotech fans. So Allen and I have been friends for years. We were trying to figure it out last time. I think we've known each other for. I think I met him the year before I opened my store. I don't think I had my store yet.
Okay.
So I think it was I think we've known each other for
you started talking to me a lot more after you had a store.
Yeah, but I think we've known each other for 9 years. We've been friends for I would say probably 8.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, so the first couple times we hung out, we were together and one of our phones rang. We have the same ringtone. It's the Knight Rider theme. And
that's right, because we both answered. I was like, wait a
we're
minute.
to our phones, and they were both like, "Wait, that's your ringtone?" And then this year when we got to San Diego Comic-Con, I was wearing this shirt and he was wearing that one. This is from Robotech, so we're both huge Robotech fans and comic book fans, and it was a little weird. But yeah, this is now the second time or the third time that we've done this and worn the same shirts.
This is a very awesome and comfortable shirt. So
it is. It's nice. But anyways, how's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling tonight?
Good. I'm just going to quickly say hi to some folks in the chat.
yeah, sure.
Scott is here. Janet is here. Luis is here. And of course, Alan, you have seen there in the chat the question: do Allens and Allens with an E and Allens with an A?
I mean, I try to answer that it's kind of like the Bryans and Bryans, right? Brian,
Brian with a Y.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a conversation where I remember a couple of years back at Gen Con, there's another Allen in our group, and one of my friends said, "Can two Allens exist in the same room at the same time?" And I was like, as long as you understand that I'm the cooler one, it really pissed off the other Allen. So. So there's a maybe there on if Allens can exist together or not. So
what about Allens with one L? They just
that's just weird. Yeah.
Everybody looks down on them. Right?
I mean, just know your place. You're third.
You can only afford one L.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Apparently.
When it comes to the number of Daves in a room, it's important to have more than one. It's
really?
very easy to do. It's super easy to do, but yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I think anytime I've been in a room with you, it's just you.
Yeah. I know.
Maybe. Now I'm gonna have to check next time.
You have to check next time for sure.
You're also a Dave. Like I have one friend who I believe is, I think he's German, but very specifically he goes by David. He's not Dave.
Right.
Yeah,
His
I don't know.
I called him Dave. Like my mom calls me Al, but I don't like it when anyone calls me Al.
Okay.
My wife likes to play "Call Me Al."
Because
What's that song?
the Paul Simon song.
Yeah, the Paul Simon. Yeah, she's like, she plays that when I say that, but I'm like, I hate it. I hate it when people call me Al. So it's not my thing. So
Brendan Bell has also joined us. Hello, Brendan. So
what's going on?
Other folks who are watching haven't chatted yet, but I'm sure they will.
I had some cool news.
You have some cool news.
We broke 1K.
Oh,
Nice.
dude, no. See, I was going to save it until next week so I could do a nice graphic.
Oh, okay. Then forget don't worry about it, guys. Forget that I said that. There's no
too bad this is live and you can't edit that out.
That's fine. That's fine. He can still do the cool graphic.
You can
do a cool graphic for next week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not a lot of people have joined yet, so they might not.
Yeah, don't worry about it. They missed that. They didn't even hear it, Dave. Don't worry about it.
It's all good. All good.
We're all good.
What have you been working on for hobby stuff? Do you want to get into the hobby stuff first, or what do you want to do?
Sure. Yeah, let's get into hobby stuff.
Okay.
So I have photos.
Yeah, we have photos where it didn't happen. So.
Yeah. So here we go. Share.
Yeah, nice work, Janet. We're only at $9.99.
Awesome.
Who's that handsome devil in front of that good-looking store?
That is Super Dan Osborne. Remember the day when you guys had never met and you were never in the same room at the same time?
Dude, we were talking about it when he was up here. We were explaining it to my wife. So for those of you who have not watched every episode that we've done, one of the first episodes I couldn't make, I was away doing something. I think I was going to a trade show, and Dave was like, "It's okay. My buddy's going to cover." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So it ended up being Dan Osborne. So they did the show, and I was at an event, so I didn't get to catch it. And then I came back, and we talked about it a little bit, and I watched a little bit of the recap, and he was like, "Oh, it went great. Okay, fine." And then I want to say like a season and a half later, because it was a while later, it was another one. I was at another trade show, and he was like, "Oh, Dan was gonna be on as the guest, but since he's covered with me before, he'll just co-host again." So the running joke was that Dan and I don't think that Dan is real, and like he's not a real person when I'm around. Like that's the whole point. Is when I'm around, Dan shows up. So apparently, Dan was telling me that we were at like Adepticon or something, and I walked by. And Dave saw me and deliberately didn't say anything because Dan was with him so that we wouldn't meet.
Yep.
Oh.
so it was pretty wild. And then I met him in person. I want to say last year it might have been 2 years ago at like Adepticon, I think was the first time I met him in person. And then, I see him. I see Dan in person probably twice a year. I see him usually at Adepticon and then usually at Nova. Which will probably now be once a year. But yeah, so it was great. He just happened to be up here for work and was out in like Western Mass. He was like a couple hours away. But obviously he flew into Boston. So he's like, "Hey, when I get back, should I, do you want to hang out?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "We'll get a game in and whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So he crashed at my place. We have a guest room. So he stayed with me. And then his event was done on Friday. He spent the night and then we went in to the store on Saturday and played a game of Trench Crusade and hung out and got like food and stuff. This is our game of Trench Crusade. And then he flew home Saturday night, which apparently was more of an adventure than it needed to be. He like got lost going to the airport and thought he was going to be late and miss his flight. He was fine. He left with plenty of time. But yeah, this is our Trench Crusade game. So this is Dan's side of the board. And then my guys are on the other side of the board. The three big silver dudes with the wings on their backs, they did some heavy lifting. Those guys were fantastic. Yeah, those two guys on the hill and then that guy there, they killed a bunch of stuff.
I've never played Trench Crusade.
I hadn't either. It was my first game. It's super easy for anybody who's at home who's thinking about getting into it. The whole game, everything is 2d6, and then there's modifiers. Yes, this is us mid-game.
I don't know what's up with this dude's camera, but every selfie he's taken looks like he's photoshopped the rest of you into the background.
It's
a very interesting photo.
The rim light is working on it.
Yeah, exactly.
He did a really good job of like squaring it up though. I mean, that the photos are pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that he like, edited it afterwards and like recorrected it. But no, it was a fun game. But so the game is just 2d6. So you're like, I want to have my guy jump over there. Okay, it's a difficult terrain test. It's 2d6. I want to have this guy shoot that guy. Okay, it's 2d6. And then there's modifiers. So everything is modified. So it's like, oh, I get a thing that lets me, I'm gonna aim. So I get to add a d6 to my roll. So then you roll 3d6, but you keep the best 2. It's still only ever 2d6 that you're using. Okay. And if I'm at a disadvantage, I would roll 3 dice and keep the worst 2 dice. But really, really easy to do. Super straightforward. There's a couple of like extra things you can do here and there, but basically it's a warband game. So you have, I think the smallest warband you can make is like 4 models, and the biggest warband you can make, I think, is like 16. So my warband, I think, is 8 guys. His warband was like 11 or 12 or something. But it was fun. Like we only played, it's supposed to be 4 rounds. We only played 3 because he had to leave. So at the end of 3 rounds, he was up, I think, 14 victory points to 12. But it was about to go sideways for him. So
that's why he ducked out.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, I gotta get out of here, get to the airport."
Look at the time; it's time for me to not exist in Jake's world anymore.
But no, it's a fun game. It's pretty, like I said, really easy to learn. After like one turn through playing, like he went, I went, I was like, oh, okay, I got this. Like it is not a super complex game. The complexity comes in kind of building your army to do certain things and figuring out like what you want your guys to be good at. But the rules itself they're not difficult at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of the rules, they went up. So up until now, it's been playtest rules.
Yeah.
Today, the actual 1.0.0 rules went live. So the digital rule book is up. The warbands listing is up. The campaign rules are all there in that
nice
thing there. So that's all up live now on their website for free. You can go and check it out. And also on their site yesterday, they dropped all their news about plastics and what their plans are for plastics for the future. So
yeah, if anybody's looking for,
I want that artillery witch. I think that's what it's called.
Oh yeah,
Dave's got her right there on his desk.
Oh, I've got the bust.
Oh yeah. No, I saw the one at Adepticon when we were there, where she's just holding the
bomb
above her head, and I was just like, funny story. I found out that my CPA actually works with those guys too. All right. I think she went to Nova and hung out with them all there. So.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
If anybody is looking for these, we have them up on our website for pre-order. I forget what the actual launch date is. I know it's relatively soon. I think they're supposed to hit stores.
Date is 22nd.
Yeah, so I know it's supposed to hit stores before the holidays. But
so you need 2 of those to play, basically.
No, well, if it's just you just need 1.
Of course, but if I had a friend,
yeah, I mean, but again, like the cool thing about this game is it's miniatures agnostic, so you can kind of use whatever you want. You can kit bash stuff, but they also make a bunch of stuff. So if you have a 3D printer, which you do, you can download the STLs for any of the. How many factions are there, Dave?
6.
Okay, so you can download whatever you want, and you can just print it.
Okay.
But now they're going to start making plastics of certain warbands to start, and I'm sure that they'll try to do everything. But yeah, if you have a 3D printer, you can just download the STLs and print them. And obviously the STLs are a lot cheaper than buying the models themselves because they don't have to worry about packaging and shipping and all that stuff. But you could also just you could just kit bash stuff. You could be like, oh, I bought a box of Knights and I bought a box of Games Workshop, Deathcore.
Like these Black Templars I've got that can't be used on a
100%. You use them as your armored infantry. Yeah.
Oh, that's. Oh, I want that.
That's a different one.
That's a different one. Yeah.
Different artillery witch.
This is also
There's more than one?
Yeah, there's a couple different sculpts.
This one, this one's sculpted by the body. The witch herself is sculpted. Oh, it's from Goetia Miniatures on My Mini Factory. The bomb is from the artillery witch. I just did a digital kit bash. slammed them together in the Idea Maker slicer, and then printed them out as one piece.
Dave's gotten really good at doing kit bashing digitally. So
I wouldn't say really good. I'm getting
he's
better.
he's gotten serviceable.
Serviceable.
Hank jumped on, by the way.
Oh, cool. Hey, Hank. Cool. I was having a chat with Hank last night.
That's Hank Adepticon himself.
Yep.
Well,
Hank,
what's up?
Mr. Adepticon.
Mr. That's Dr. Adepticon to you.
Dr.
Oh, that's awesome. I should have dug out my.
That's
Heretic
super cool.
Priest
What
as
is
well.
what model is that?
That's a Heretic Priest again from Goetia Miniatures.
Nice.
I'm working on my basically inspired by Pete Hairston, who we've got on next week. I've been working on my Knights of Avarice list,
Very
which
nice.
is one of the variant lists for the Heretic Legion. So I've got some photos about to come up, but
All right.
but
But yeah, that was fun. So we got to get a game in and hung out for a couple hours and spent some FaceTime. It was great seeing him. So that was cool. He's on the West Coast. I think he's up in Seattle, Oregon. He's in Portland. Okay, so he had like a pretty solid flight afterwards, but yeah, I guess he works for like an education company doing they work with different school districts and stuff. So he was out here just kind of, I guess, at a conference. So
yeah,
but that was a good time.
Neat.
And then the other thing is I told you about this last week, but so this is the pile of books I'm trying to get through by the end of the year.
Oh,
so it's a pretty good list. So I'm trying to get all 8 of these read by the end of the year. So I finished this yesterday. So
Excellent.
we'll jump onto something else after this, but
Cool.
got some Games Workshop stuff mixed in, but there's a bunch of independent stuff as well.
Yep. Excellent.
I've been reading a lot more comic books. Actually, I have a private Discord with artists. And I started a comic book club in there. Starting a book club felt boring. like I couldn't expect people to read like 200 pages and then sit down and talk about it. But I could get you to read like 8 issues. Like we just read Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, 8 issues. Everybody loved it. And then we read Batman, White Knight by Snyder. No, I think it's Murphy. And if you haven't read that, it's, and it's easy because you can digest it and then you can get together every 3 weeks and talk about whatever,
Cool.
And we got a bunch of new people who don't read comic books to join up, which is great. Like Miles, Miles.
Yeah.
Miles's wife, Nikki joined us and she was like so far everything we've suggested she loves. So I'm like, cool.
So pressure's on you guys now to keep it up.
Yep.
I mean, you can't win them all. Someone's going to read something where they're like, this is garbage. It's just going to happen. So,
yep.
I mean, even Supergirl was Supergirl is something Supergirl, man, come on. I had to convince him to read that, but the art's great. The writing is great. So it's a win-win.
Nice. That is cool. Next up, some minis from Allen. So I'm not sure if you've done these recently, Alan, or if
so I used to here in Chicago. There's a show called it's called MMSI, the Military Miniature Society of Illinois, and every October they used to do a show in the local Marriott. It's not too far from where you guys were for Adepticon when it was there. And you would go there, and it used to be all military miniatures. So I used to attend with my friend Pete, who was one of my early guitar instructors. Him and I have been friends since we were like 17. So he took me to the show once and I thought, oh, these are great, but I really don't want to paint military miniatures. That's just not my jam. But I was painting D&D miniatures with my friends and stuff. And I'm like, so let me know when they include fantasy. So then one day they were like, fantasy's on the board now. So I started painting fantasy. This is a tall one. This is not a 3-4. It's like, I forgot the name of this company. It's an Italian company that made this sculpt. So this one won this is the one that won a bronze at the show. This is old. This is like at least 5 years old at this point.
okay.
I've been trying to paint newer stuff. Yeah. So I replaced his arms with like, if I can grab it from back here.
Is that a whip in his hand?
Yeah. So like the original, I replaced his arms and it broke when I moved, but I essentially gave him a whip. I made him a Belmont.
Hang on a second. Let's.
Oh,
you.
that's you.
There we
there
go.
I am.
That's
There
you.
So yeah, so this broke off, but essentially he's throwing a whip.
Oh,
Nice.
And I took off his. I resculpted his hands, gave him a new blade. I gave him a new blade in the back here to hold it, and then I took off this hand and made him a whip. So, because in my head I was always just like, I don't want to paint it straight out of the box. I like the idea of kit bashing or changing it to something that it's not. But yeah, when we moved to this house, it broke, and I haven't had a chance to fix it, unfortunately.
The best way to fix it is pin it. I'll teach you how to pin it. It's easy.
Sure. And then the rest is there's a Raceland in the mix. It's still on my face, by the way.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, he'll switch back.
I'll switch back. Yeah.
I mean, you can leave me for a second if you want me. I'll show you one that I didn't put in your in the folder because I forgot to take a photo of it. But this one.
Too late now.
Oh, so that one's Raceland. So this one won. I think this one just won a bronze as well. But it's also this. I think it's the same Italian company. It's straight out of Dragonlance Chronicles.
Yeah.
If you read Dragonlance,
Yeah.
so I just kind of did I built the base, and I found I can't even. This is like I was like when I was early on when I was doing D&D miniatures, we didn't have like fake leaves and
Oh yeah, it's
grass and all
totally
that.
different now.
Right. So when I saw all this stuff, I just started. I have tons of this stuff in storage still because I was like, I'm gonna build a whole maquette, And that dude's eyes were the hardest part for me. Eyes, I believe, are the hardest parts for everybody. But that one also he's laying on his back there because he broke in the move too, which I have to fix. The movers obviously were my friends. We were just in a hurry and we broke stuff. But I can't remember the other one. I think I showed you some older stuff after that. There's like a Space Marine.
I didn't put them all in.
Oh, okay.
But I did include this one.
Okay, so this is I met a writer. He was working on a series called Ghost Zero, and the character in there is called the Revenant. And it's basically like he's kind of like the Shadow, like if you can't tell, but he's like undead, I think, and he just runs around. This is one of the first sculpts I ever painted. Like
Right.
This thing is old, and he's sitting back there on the shelf because I can't bear to throw him out. Even though I think
How big is that?
he's pretty big.
Yeah. You can see it compared to the Gale Force 9 basing. So
Okay.
in the background. So if you pull that forward, he's going to be like.
Oh yeah, so he's decent size.
Yeah, he's pretty big. See,
hang on a second.
Very nice.
We'll spin that around again.
so if I put it next to my face,
Yep.
like my friend makes these bases. So back in the day, I would buy all these wooden bases from him. Keep that up. I'll show you this other one that I did. This is one of the early ones. My friend was teaching me how to paint it with oils. So this one's got a mix of oils.
Oh, it's like a centaur. Very nice.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know how to get to focus on him, but
yeah.
But these
cool,
bases, their company built a bunch of these bases, and I was like, I'm buying as many of them as you make. But I haven't really painted in a while because life is super busy with all the work,
Oh yeah.
But I'm slowly getting back into it because I bought this when I was at Level Up.
Yeah, there we go.
And then I was told I can't play Kill Team with it. But I also like I've been getting back into miniatures now after doing so many shows with like Jake and stuff. And I'm just like, oh, I can feel that itch coming back. But again, all the stuff has gotten better, right? Like you sent me, I got a bunch of Army Painter speed paints, and I was just like, this stuff didn't exist when I was starting out, so it's kind of cool. And I'm not going to say it's easier, but it's cool and different, and it makes you want to paint.
I think the biggest difference is that as the miniature community has improved and the technology has improved in making the miniatures and the materials and all that stuff, obviously the paint and all the supply side has also improved. So it's like, now you've got all those little leaf punches, and you've got like different textured paints, and all the movie stuff that the guys at Goblin Hut have, and the speed paints. Like there's so many new like things. It just makes the job. I don't want to say I do think it's easier. I think it's a lot simpler to get stuff done. I think it's a lot less of a headache to do certain things. But I also understand that for a new painter or a new hobbyist, it can be overwhelming because there's so many things. So
yeah, I mean, I've been using like the speed paints on the the little chibis from Marvel United, and it's just like it's a great like jumping off point where you're just like, if you can get through this, then you can get into the nitty gritty later without too much stress, right? Because when I was learning how to paint, you know, my problem was I fell into the trap of like trying to win that contest all the time at MMSI when I should have just stuck in my lane of I'm enjoying painting, period. Right. And then so I haven't done the MMSI in a number of years, mainly because again I'm too busy to paint. But I'm slowly getting back into it. But I'm not going to apply for the contest. Like it's just better to not do that. So
yeah.
But it is a fun show. If you guys are in Chicago, it's not as big as Adepticon. It's a very, very small local show. It's like 2 days long. It's at the Marriott in Schaumburg, and it's in the small like room that they rent out. And there's usually about 100 sculpts in there, so 100 miniatures. So
nice.
It started feeling a little too political, and that's when I was just like, "Peace out, homies." You know.
No, that's fair.
Yeah. Like, I can't compete with that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Brent just jumped on. Josh just jumped on. Sean just jumped on. Kel just jumped on.
Hey Josh. Hey Brent. Hey Sean. Hey Kel. I think we've got up with everybody. But cool, awesome.
And then Gundam wise, I just built. I don't know if
he's a big Gundam guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just built Elfrith.
Nice.
Excellent.
It still needs paint. I got to go through it and paint it up. I can't find my airbrush. I might need to actually buy a new one.
No.
This side of the studio is chaos. So it's either one of these boxes or I lost it. So I don't know how you lose a whole airbrush, but
well, the way I always find the best way to find your lost tools or lost anything is order something new. Like order a new version of it on Amazon.
And then you'll find it. Yeah,
you'll find it like 5 minutes after you could have canceled the order.
Yeah,
and then
so,
so you'll have
I've gone through so much crap in the last because I've been trying to organize things. I think one of the main ways to get back into my hobbies is there's 20 Gundams in this closet over here, including the Valkyrie that I got from you, Jake. And I just did MagicCon Atlanta, and my friend took me to the Gundam shop, I think it's called. It's in Duluth, I think. It's a huge store. It's just all Gundams, and I bought they had the third party Chinese kits. Yeah. They're huge, and you're talking master or perfect grade $300 kits for $60.
Right.
So I bought one I'm ever gonna build it, but you never know. I might have. It's as big as that guy.
We just got in. Oh God, I don't remember the name. We just got in I think it's the perfect grade Psycho Gundam. The
don't
box,
tell me things like that.
The box is like a suitcase. It is.
Yeah, they're huge.
It is the box is enormous. It's like, so we have a lot of 40K people in the crowd. It's like 2 Leviathan boxes turned sideways and put together. The box is huge.
Right.
So we just got that in, and we got in the mega scale. The RX-78 is the Gundam that everybody pictures in their head. It's the white one with the red and the blue and the yellow on it. It's the classic Gundam. We got in the mega version of that. So most Gundams are 1/144th or 1/12th, I think. So this one is 1/60th. So when you build it, it's going to be 3 feet tall. It's huge. So
you mean
we got that thing in too. It's Gundams are hilarious. I've as somebody who grew up building models before I played Warhammer, building the Enterprise and World War II planes and whatever. When Gundams came out, by the time that I realized Gundams were a thing, I was then building Warhammer. So my mind was always well, what am I going to do with this? I'm going to build this really cool robot, and it's going to sit on a shelf. I was like, is there a game? And they're like, oh, there's no game. And I was like,
you're going to hang out.
You got to build a stand.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But at least when I build my toy soldiers now, I'm going to take them to the store and play a game with them. So
yeah,
I was like, I need my shelf space for that.
That's
fair.
But All right, Dave. What about you? What have you been working on?
I have been working on. Let me get this and.
Ooh.
There we go. He's been digital kit bashing.
So yeah, talking about some digital kit bashing.
That's the Red Brigade mechanized body.
Yeah. So the Red Brigade mechanized infantry body, because it's kind of the fanciest one that was still very solid. So for this Knights of Avarice list, the Heretic Legion, you've got to. They all worship Mammon, who is the god of greed and avarice, or the devil of
the
demon of greed and avarice. But essentially, everybody in the list has to be at least 80 ducats or more.
Okay.
So you've got to load. You don't have to load everybody up with it. I mean, the Heretic Priest starts at 80, but you can also pick one thing from the new Antioch list, one item from the new Antioch list that you include in your own army. So I picked heavy machine armor, my Heretic Priest. So it's like, nice. I want to have the same head, so it shows that he's in the armor. So I sort of sliced that head off. I printed this separately so that I could position it carefully.
Will it fit?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay.
Yep. You can see the sort of his little back flare here. I cut that off and I slammed that into the back of the heavy machine armor. The brazier here is from the Factory Fortress equipment, like hell-based equipment, and that's again just jammed into the top of those. So the back.
Two questions.
Yep.
What program is this that you're using to chop all this up?
This is Idea Maker.
Idea Maker,
yeah, for which is the slicer program for like the Raise 3D.
Like any STL you want to drop in there?
Yeah, you can drop any STL in there. You can slice it. You can do Boolean stuff where you're removing. You can have one shape removed from another shape, that kind of thing. This is a good one because it exports you can export the file as an STL, which is any other slicer program. Some slicers don't let you export as an STL, G2 box, for example. But I also took some armor plates from some loose armor plates and changed their proportions and sort of jammed them in to change this a little bit as well. So
I mean, also my second question was: are you building this in a way where you can just do it in one go, or are you trying to
print? Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, just so that this is all sturdy on there, because sometimes the 3D resin doesn't hold particularly well even with super glue. So something to be aware of. So yeah, that was a lot of fun messing around with that. And so this is my Knights of Avarice warband.
Oh damn!
So I've got
the dog. The dog costs 30 ducats.
No, the dog is 1 glory. So this is my 900 ducats 8 glory warband. So the dog is 1 glory point. There's a Goetic warlock at the back who costs 4 glory, and this anointed here, who himself is 95 glory plus he's got 2 axes.
What do you mean? What do you mean when you say glory? That's a point system in this game?
Yeah, it's like a bonus system thing.
Yeah.
Is this for Trench Crusade or a different game?
Yeah, for Trench Crusade. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I like that witch or whatever that is on the far left.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm using her as another anointed. She's got a double-handed hammer. It's called a coin hammer, which is basically goes around and has the sigil of Mammon on the face, so you can slam it into anything and basically claim everything for Mammon.
I like your Altdorf Elector count that's apparently hanging out with these guys.
Oh, down the front here? Yeah, this is my heretic trooper with the upgrade to a legionnaire. So he's got +1 ranged ability, I think. Gave him a musical instrument. He's got a shield strapped to his back, a pistol, and armor. So he is 81 ducats, so just over the threshold.
Nice.
But yeah, I used some of the plastic Prussian for him, and some older Empire stuff, the fancy hat. Developed
That is a fancy hat.
yeah, fancy hat. Developed a story for them, so still working on that. Once I've got it all worked out, I'll post it. But
Nice.
yeah, the east over the back behind the artillery witch there is my Warwolf, which is a crazy thing, and then the chorister. Normally in the Heretic Legion, he's the guy. Like in the basic model, it's where sort of cut his own head off, and he has his head in his hands, singing, and then there's like spurts of blood in crazy sigils coming up out of his neck. Instead, this one's in what they call a tarnished armor, which means that if you see him and you're within charge range, you have to charge him. Behind him, I've got the banner of the standard of Mammon. And if you get in there, you have to make an action roll, and if you fail, you fall down, and you're down on the ground, and you can't get back up because you fall onto your knees in praise of greed. So,
what does the dog do?
The dog? Sorry, just the dog?
Yeah.
He just sort of hangs out. He's just there.
He doesn't
You
do
just had to
anything.
spend one glory on him. Like,
He can fight.
Oh, he can fight. Okay.
He can bite people. But yeah, he's one glory. I had one glory left. I didn't want to go in with I can use him as an activation. So in this list, there are 9 activations, which is pretty crazy. Particularly that because everybody's super expensive. And as I was mentioning, yeah, that's the musician there.
very nice.
Switched out some things, but yeah, he's the fancy dude. And also, yeah, Brendan says objective play, so I can race him off to capture an objective. But yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah, that's what I've been messing around with, and I will be painting those over the next couple of weeks. It'll be a lot of fun. Lots of sort of rich magenta-y purples and golds.
Nice.
I'm excited about that.
Emperor's Children colors.
Yeah, kind of that kind of thing, and yeah, white, like a neutral white, sort of offsetting color.
So I just found out that all of my projects that I was working on are going to come to a screeching halt for the next probably 5 weeks.
What's that?
So we're obviously the next show I have coming. So we have PAX in like 3 weeks, and then like December 6th, so like a month from now is Everwinter. Which I'm assuming I'll see Brent at because he's usually at the local shows. But so Ben and I were talking the other day, and Ben walked in with a whole new armload of heresy stuff, and I was like, "Are you starting another army?" And he's like, "Oh, this is all stuff I'm adding to my army." And I was like, "Why?" He goes, "It's 3,000 points." And I was like, "I thought we were playing Zone Mortalis." He's like, "There is no Zone Mortalis for the new edition. They haven't released it yet." And I was like, "Okay." So he's like, "You're going to either have to add 1,500 points to your existing army, or you're going to have to like mess around with your Iron Warriors and try to like fix them." So what I need to do is over the next couple of days, I need to figure out if I can, because I knew you can ally stuff. So I think I can ally in some tanks for my Iron Warriors.
Yep.
But I have to change some of the units I have in order to do that, because they're basically like, they're like a smaller force, but they have to be self-contained.
Right.
And right now, the way I have them built, you can't have a tank that's an HQ.
Okay.
So I would have to like paint a Centurion or something and then put them in a vehicle, and then I can use them and then add a bunch of tanks. So that's what I have to do next, is figure out like what I have to get. And then that's going to take priority because like that's the next tournament I have. So
yeah,
but
cool.
It's all good.
Excellent.
I'm still trying to decide on PAX. I don't know, man.
Dude, you should just come and hang out, man. You'll be a good time.
It's if I was driving to it, I think it'd be less stressful. If flying to it feels like I'm gonna get stuck in an airport on the way home.
Can you take a train?
I am actually currently looking into the Amtrak, so I will let you know. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
You
so.
can get a sleeper car. I think it's it's like
Oh yeah, that's the best way to do it.
a train.
Like, Everybody else can leave me the fuck alone. Yeah, exactly. So,
I'm going to be training it up from Baltimore for sure.
yeah, I mean, I'm looking into it. It was like I looked the other day, and it was about the same as a flight. It's like $600, and I thought that at least I can manage to take back and forth. But the plane feels like I'm going to get stuck at an airport, and I don't want to be stuck in Philly. I literally was supposed to do Star City Games Vegas. I canceled that because I didn't want to be stuck in Vegas. So.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Well, that was a lot of hobby.
Yeah.
Let's jump in and talk about some other bits and pieces. First up, thank you very much to the Army Painter, our season sponsors. Jake and I are also part of the Army Painter factory team. I snagged this clip from their Instagram page, but it has a link through to their YouTube channel where you can see the fun, essentially retiring the War Paints 1.0 range with a proper Viking funeral.
Nice. They put it in a boat and shoot a flaming arrow at it.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Outstanding.
They carry this the complete paint set and fire a flaming arrow. But yeah, it's definitely all good. And of course, it's all done with like plastic, inaccurate Viking helmets and crappy bows and that kind of thing. This is just a good fun laugh. So make sure you go and check that out. Excellent. But now, time for us to jump in and talk much more about Allen and the stuff that you do.
Oh, yay. By the way, I don't know what happened, but apparently my camera decided to work. So.
Oh, cool. So now you got a better contrast.
I appear to be pretty bright on camera right now. So, yeah, this is my first Magic card, Lost in Space.
So, first up, let's just quickly go back. So, art. When did you start?
So
sculpting, whatever.
I'm trained as a graphic designer. Actually, I did that for over 20 years. That my first degree is in multimedia and web design. So a lot of graphic design, a lot of UI UX development. But while I was at that job, I started one day. I was bored, as most jobs. Corporate jobs get boring after a while. I started tinkering with what would become this style. And a friend of mine, this is around 2014, and a friend of mine was like, you should do C2E2. I'm in Chicago. So that's the Comics and Entertainment Expo here in Chicago. But I never want to do conventions. I don't like really being in a crowd. So I was just like, no, thanks. I'm good. But he signed me up. And I had a bunch of like fan art that I was doing in this style. So I had like Star Wars, Batman, Spider-Man, you name it, fan art. But mainly characters I liked. I didn't really do some like random characters. They're specific to things I like. I did my first show. I actually had a good time. I did really well at it for my first show, And so I was also working on this. That's the FET piece I had at San Diego Comic-Con. That was my exclusive. But so I started I was writing this Ancient Ones. My series is called Ancient Ones. I was writing that in high school. But they were just kind of like notes. Like I had these ideas early on. I was really into Egyptian mythology. So a lot of early Ancient One stuff was kind of based around Egyptian mythology, kind of suggesting it felt too much like Stargate. It's like suggesting aliens came down. They've been living with us forever. And so that's the first book in the series. Yep. But as I was writing it,
Jake, it's fine. We've got more stuff coming up.
Yeah. One of my cousins was like, you're Indian. Why is there no Indian mythology in this series? There's nothing other than Egyptian mythology. So that got my brain tinkering. And the more I started reading about Indian mythology, the more I started reading about other like Norse and like Japanese and Chinese mythology. Scary as fuck, by the way. Like they literally have dead things chasing you around, like. So, but the more I learned, the more the story started developing. So what ended up happening is I took the style, I started kind of putting together my own characters in the world. Because again, my cousins were like, by the way, my voice just squeaked, but my cousins were like, why don't you just draw your own stuff? And I'm not an illustrator. I'm trained in graphic design. So I did some graffiti stuff when I was younger too. So I kind of combined both of those to what is kind of developing into what this is going to become. And I started pushing Ancient One stuff into the convention scene alongside the fan art. And then I slowly phased out the fan art, which really kind of disrupted things for a minute. But the fans kind of embraced it. So I was like, okay, I'm on to something here. I had about 6 pieces. I saw your message, Janet. Haha. And then I did Dragon Con. So I did a couple shows, and I was doing mainly Comic Cons, Indiana Comic Con, stuff like that. I had not done Gen Con at this point, but I got into Dragon Con. So I thought, okay, let's try it. I'm in the art show. I get in, and I just remember my first Dragon Con. I set up. I took a walk around the floor, and the artists in there with me were phenomenal. Like, to the point where I literally had like I was literally walking around like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? You're not good enough to be in this show. Like, I went to bed at night, like that first night I went to sleep thinking, you're gonna completely bomb this show. Like, it's gonna be bad. Like, that's how bad I felt about being there. And a really good friend of mine was in the room with me, and he was like, he really gave me a pep talk. And then I sold out. Everything sold out at that show. Like, and I won an award for Best Alien. And that's where I met Scott Fisher for the first time, who I mentor under. If you know Scott Fisher's work, he does stuff for Magic, he does stuff for D&D. And he like pulled me aside and was like, I can see what you're trying to do. What if I helped you develop it? So that was around 2016. And then from 2016 to about now, I've just developed this style, and I'm constantly learning new things with it, because with the Ancient One stuff, I had a line where I'm just like, this is good, this looks great. But with the Magic work, when it came through, there was a whole new level of, don't fuck this up, because it's Magic, and Magic fans are very finicky, and they'll bury you if you do bad work. So that card that was just up, people like the card, but they like the art, but they hate the card.
Oh, okay.
So everyone who comes up to my booth to get this card signed is like, love the art, hate this fucking card.
Right.
Like, that's just what happens, I guess. But the first couple times they said it, I was like, damn, that's mean, man. But that's what happens. So Magic fans are like, they don't want to, to the point where they're not going to play this card because they don't like it. Right. It's not.
Right.
See, I run 2 of these. I have 2 decks that one cares about artifacts.
Right.
So this is and it's a blue deck, so it cares about me casting stuff. And then I have another deck that very specifically cares about surveil. So that deck is all creatures. So again, for those of you at home who don't know how Magic works, if I cast a spell, Dave, so the top right-hand corner is how much it costs. That's what people honestly are complaining about with this spell, because it's kind of pricey. If that costs 1 in a blue, or even 2 in a blue, would be reasonable.
They would love this card.
But 3 in a blue is just it's not worth it. There's better versions out there. So but the card itself is okay. But yeah, Alan's 100% right. It's the art. Like, the art is what got noticed. Allen was actually on a Magic card before he drew a Magic card.
I threw that in here too, just so you know.
Oh, nice.
So it'll come up eventually. But yeah, so this was my first card. They waited. I met so my AD on this is an artist named Zach Stella, who is also a Magic artist. He's a senior AD at WotC. And he so what ended up happening is, about at this point 6 years ago, he found me at a show called EluxCon that I go to every October. I was just there last weekend, not this weekend, but the weekend before. And he found me at that show, and he was looking at my Ancient One stuff, and he's like, have you ever considered submitting your work to WotC? And at this point, I had given up. I'd been like, nah, they're not going to hire me because my stuff looks too different. And I literally looked at him and said, I don't think my work fits WotC's aesthetic. And he was like, I do. And I was like, who are you? And he's a senior AD, by the way. And he was like, submit it. And Jake was there when we were at Gamma together, my first Gamma in Louisville. And when Zach finally got me a card, he messaged me and said, get ready to sign some paperwork. And I had to run back to our hotel room. I was like, I gotta go. Remember that? I was like, I gotta go sign this stuff right now before they change their mind. And within a week of that, I had my first card, which is Lost in Space. And I did so good on this, they offered me the next card, which was the Terramorphic, this card here. Now this
is
card,
great. Everybody loves
card's
this card.
Everyone loves this card. Yeah. So this one I get, people like the card. They play it, and almost every deck has a Terramorphic in it, if you're smart. And but the artwork I get, people walk up to me and say, "This is the best version of this card. This artwork is the best version of this artwork," which is kind of a nice thing to hear because this card stressed me the hell out because the prompt for it was all over the place. Like my brain could not figure out how to put this together at first. So I'm
going to say
again,
that like the color text that it's got at the bottom there, like on the border of the chaos wall that separates the edge from the blind eternities, creation itself still churns.
Yeah, exactly.
Matches that art perfectly.
Great. So they give me that. They never tell you what they're going to write on the bottom.
Right. Okay.
They give you this. So what you get from your AD is a pretty decent prompt that says, here's what I'm like. The first card, it was literally like, I can't tell exactly what it said, but base level is there's a dude, he's standing on the planet. There's X, Y, and Z happening around him. And you're like, cool. And you just draw it, give him a sketch. If you approve it, you get it to go. This card had a bunch of words that sounded like a drunk poet wrote it. And I was just like, what does this mean? But once you so again with Scott has been very helpful when I approach him since I'm one of his students. I've been one of his students for 7 years at this point. So 8 years, he will look over the stuff for me real quick and give me advice. So we broke it down. And
it's always weird too. Like you and I talk a lot about this. I think one of the hardest things is got to be, it'd be one thing. Like if the three of us were hanging out in a room and we were like, oh, Dave and I are doing a new Lord of the Rings card game. And I want a card that's Smaug laying on a pile of gold in his, in the Dwarven Hold. You'd be like, cool, got it. Because you know what I mean. Dave knows what I mean. Like everybody who's in the chat knows what that means. When you get stuff like this, there's the creators who have designed the set, but they're not artists. And then there's the artists who are illustrating the set. And you get there's a world guide that he keeps talking about. And that's basically like a summary that the art directors have. And it's like they're translating from the creators to you guys, but you don't know any of the source material. So it's never like draw a dragon. It's like there's a thing that's on a planet looking off in the distance and there's a star. And you're like, what? Like, okay.
So this was also like all the colors have to come into play, but you can't exactly use black, right?
Right.
They don't want black in there. So it was like, you could see there's like that purple is technically the black, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's black. White is white. Green is green. Red is red. Blue is blue. But purple is what they represent for black. But initially I was like, if I put black here, everyone's eyes is going to go right to that, right? Yeah. That's all they're going to look at. Also, like the stuff so whatever you draw sketch wise, the writers have to approve technically or something like that because it has to fit the story they're trying to tell, right? Edge of Eternities, it's its own universe within the Magic universe, and there's a story. And if it doesn't fit the story, then the card won't work. Right. I guess. So, those are my first two cards.
I think I pulled one of these, and I think I have two
in the pre-cons.
I think I have 2 Lost in Spaces.
Yeah, so Lost in Space comes in all the boosters, and it's sad that the Terramorphic's not in the boosters. It's only in that pre-con.
It comes in the
World Shaper.
Yeah, it comes in World Shaper.
And now that being said, if they ever reprint this card, then it might show up in a booster. Like there's no foil of this card either, right? Because it's only in the
there's no additional treatments of this.
Nope. So I only have I had exactly 50 artist proofs of this, and I've sold I'm down to 30 of them now, I think. So
cool.
It's not bad. And then I think I sent you the Omen Path card.
Yep.
So this was for Arena, which I don't know who plays Arena. Some of my friends do apparently. This this is not going to get printed as a physical card unless it's I guess if it's apparently the set is called Through the Omen Paths. My card is called Through the Omen Path, not plural, which is confusing as hell. But these cards, the Through the Omen Paths cards, apparently are their digital versions of the Spider-Man cards.
Yes.
So, because Spider-Man was supposed to be in Arena, and then obviously that wasn't going to happen. I'm guessing because of Marvel Snap or whatever.
Yep.
And then then they scrambled and they created this through the Omen Path set. And then so this card, people seem to like this card and the art. I've had multiple people reach out to me and my AD asking for the high-res file so they can make proxies, which we cannot give you because that's illegal, you know. So please don't ask me for the digital version of this.
Can you sell prints of this since it's not printed?
So I can sell playmats, prints, and prints on metal, which I have been. The playmats, all these cards, if I want to make playmats of them, have to come from, it used to be Ultra Pro. I can show you one. Hang on. Because it has to have their, it's got to have their, so here's a playmat.
That's awesome.
Right? And then, so it has to have their Ultra Pro logo in the corner and then the Magic logo in the other corner. But Ultra Pro just recently lost this license. So it's probably going to go to Dragon Shield now.
Yeah, it'll either go to, I've heard it's either going to go to Dragon Shield or it's going to go to Ultimate Guard.
So I believe, now I haven't confirmed this yet, but what sounds like from my rough understanding of this is Ultimate Guard is working with Dragon Shield to make the playmats. And Dragon Shield had an event at MagicCon Atlanta that a couple of us were invited to. It's a private event, but I think it's public knowledge now. We're about to all get these cards. We can make these on sleeves now through Dragon Shield.
Nice.
Obviously. So I can't make my own sleeves. Like I can't take these cards and make my own sleeves. I can't take these cards and make my own playmats, though some artists do. That seems too scary of a risk. Some artists do, because here's the deal. Ultra Pro, before they lost his license, their turnaround time was supposed to be, it used to be a month, I guess, and then it turned into 2 months, and then it was like 5 months. And artists were like, anytime we do our artist proofs, our playmats, our prints, that's the secondary market for us. That's how we make our money back, right?
Yeah.
Because we only get paid so much to make the card. Like, we need to make more money off this. So there's a MagicCon Vegas happened in June, I believe, and Ultra Pro dropped the ball. They didn't bring mats for like 5 or 6 big name artists in that show. So some of these artists printed their own mats, and they're like, you're in breach of contract because you're not supposed to do this. And they're like, you're in breach of contract because you're 4 months late.
Right.
You know? So we'll see where Dragon Shield is at.
I like both the Dragon Shield. They've always been really good. Like their stuff's really good. They're really nice to work with. I mean, every time we go to a show, Alan and I end up talking to like their whole like sales team that's there. So we had some new people jump on. So I don't know if Mark was here before, but Mark's here now. Chris Gorka just jumped on. Heresy's here. Nice. Yeah. So Alan, Heresy and you share the same palette. Like,
absolutely.
I know Heresy hasn't seen it yet, but yeah, that's the palette. So
yep. So the second book, that's the first book. I'll talk about the books after this Magic conversation.
Yeah. I was just saying, I think next up I've got is it the Keybringer? Is that the?
So show them the Satya card too in the Magic folder real quick.
Oh, I just have these 3.
Oh, good job. All right. Well, if you look up Satya, which here, maybe I can hang on.
So yeah, there's a card very specifically that like the joke is that Alan was in Magic before Alan like was doing Magic cards. So a friend of his used Alan as like the figure study for the picture. So
cool.
If you
look up Satya Aether Flux Genius. Whoops.
If you tilt it a little, there you go.
Yep.
There you go.
There you go. That's me.
So if you look at that picture, that's Alan. Like his head is Alan.
I actually posed for this. So this is Aaron Miller's card, and they use that as a reference to do other cards. That's totally me.
Right.
Right. And nice. So it's 2 parts, which is cool. One is he's a legendary creature. So it's really I'm a legendary creature in Magic, which is great. Yep. I've signed over at this point well over 60 of these cards, which are not my cards. I am just that.
You're just in
guy. I'm just in it. But like I was in the game before I got my cards, which is funny because it's funny is like I posed for those cards with Aaron. I forgot that I posed for those cards with Aaron, and all my friends were sending me when they released that set. So Jake sent me the collector's edition right there. But when they released it, my friends were like, "Is this you? That looks like you." And I was looking at it like, "That is me." You know, like I totally, because it was like a year and a half later, I think. So I messaged Aaron to be like, "Dude, what is happening right now?" He's like, "Apparently, you're a legendary creature." I'm like, "This is awesome." You know, like so.
But
there I am.
My favorite thing about that though is I think there's 3 or 4 different versions of that card. So
Yes.
Aaron did the one that he just showed
The
you.
main one. Yep.
And then that was sent to 3 other artists that were doing different takes on it. So they all look like Allen because they used his card as the basis.
Yep.
And then they built off of that. It'd be like if you drew a picture of, like, if I got a picture of Dave with a mustache and I sent it to somebody, I was like, "Hey, could you draw this guy?" And they're like, "Oh, cool." And you're like, "Well, it looks like Dave with a mustache." And I was like, "Yeah, because I gave them a picture of Dave with a mustache."
No.
So
Right.
So
Yep.
Allen's on like 4 different cards by different artists in completely different art styles, but they all look very similar because they're all based on Aaron's drawing that is Allen.
I mean, I've got the playmat. I've got the sleeves. Here's the sleeves. Yeah, so the sleeves, they gave me hair on the sleeves.
Yeah.
Which I don't have that hair.
You gave him a ponytail.
Yeah. I had a ponytail in my 20s. But like
Yeah, that's Carl in the chat. We went out to dinner with Carl and his wife Shell. We went out to
Oh yeah, at the little like diner spot.
Yeah, at the little like we sat down at the little place
Okay.
in the
I
place
remember
across from
Carl.
the whole center with all the
Yeah,
little
we were
restaurants.
like with like little hot dog stand and then had like the sushi spot and all that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I remember Carl now. Hey man. He's like, we had dinner. I'm like, I don't know who CB. But yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of cool, right? Like they did all those like shots with me, and what's funny is this house, you know, when my magic cards came out, people were like, there's a Reddit post where one guy was like, "Oh, hey, this guy did these magic cards, but he's also the model for Satya," and then it turned into a whole thing of people like, "Is his beard that long? Are his arms that big?" My arms are this big, guys. You know? And they're like, one guy was like, "Is he single?" I'm like, "Oh, what's about to happen?" You know, like this is like a week before Gen Con, and I was just like, cool. And I'm glad. I'll put it this way: I'm glad that every single card I've done or am in has been well received. You know, to a degree. Like, there's no Reddit is a scary place to look because some of my friends have done magic work. They just trash your work on there, man. So yeah, not a gun show, Janet. It's more like a BB gun, you know, like but like, you know, so my like one of the pieces of advice that my AD Zach gave me when I first started doing work was stay off Reddit. I did look once just to see what people are saying about me, and it was all good stuff. And he was like, never do that again.
Yeah, don't go back ever again.
Yeah, don't go back.
Nice.
So yeah. And then if you want to show the Ancient One stuff.
Cool. Yep. So let's jump in and have a look at this. So we've got a load of images here.
Yeah, I just sent you a bunch of stuff from books 1 and book 2, basically.
I put them basically all in order that you sent them to me, except
it's still the key binder. Yeah,
key binder. Brought that up first. So
this is he's on the cover of the book. He is my title character.
That's my playmat when I play. That's the one. That's the mat I use all the time.
So this is the first piece. So the key binder, there's an early version of this guy. I call him the Traveler. It's very not as cool as this looks because I was still trying to figure out my style. And you know, as he developed more and more, he's, you know, for starters, he's the main character and he's Indian because as my cousins and I would put it, we were just tired of white superheroes, which is typical for comic books. So we made him Indian, and then, you know, I developed him out, and then I was comfortable putting him on the cover, obviously. And so this piece was like one of the first fully done Ancient Ones pieces I showed off, and then that really like helped me move forward with everything else. I'm more of a landscape artifacts guy, but my characters, you know, if I put some time into them, they look good. So this is the title character. In the series, you're essentially joining him. So this is the cover of book 2, which, as I mentioned, I talked about book 2. It kickstarted last October. It funded last October. It's still stuck in like it's going to go to print soon, but I'm stuck dealing with this tariff bullshit. So I can't quite go to print yet because it would cost me double at this point. But I think it got cleared up earlier.
Yeah, I thought there's no more tariffs on books. I thought books are considered education material and there's no tariffs on them.
What I need is the company I'm working with to send me a contract that states that as a zero, because the last time I talked to them, they were saying it's 30%, which I was like, that's high, from 0 to 30. Either way,
let's have a chat after the show.
Yeah. We'll talk after the show. But like everything's pretty much almost ready to go in that department. So the book, I've got enough material for 5 books. And so I've been slowly working. Like initially, so I work with another writer named Darren Pierce, who lives in the UK, and him and I work together to finish basically all the stuff that I wrote since high school that I started developing further through all this extra mythology that I read or just video games and stuff I see. He's helped me develop the stories. So I basically work with him. I send him, I've got paragraphs of stories here, and I'm just like, help me clean this up because I'm not a writer, right? I think I'm getting better at it because I've been doing it for like 6 years now. This guy's in book 2 as well. He's a Lich King. This is the last character piece I did with Scott, where it's basically like he wanted me to do a character that's sitting down, and I almost lost my mind trying to draw this because sitting down is hard. It's funny is so a little thing on how my brain works, like the whatever you call that, like the piece of cloth coming off his crotch, the loincloth, right? I could have just shot myself sitting down with like a towel going down, but I get in this mode where I'm just like, I got to figure out how to do this now. So I literally ended up putting a waterfall coming off his crotch, a photo of a waterfall, and then I photo bashed over that to figure out how that flows. So there's easier ways to do these things, but that's just how my brain works, But yeah, so these are all pieces from book 2. I'm really looking forward to pushing these. This is I think I'm going to put this one in book 3, but this is a piece I did in Scott's class. It's a D&D and magic class. So you're either going to do a D&D artifact or a creature or a magic artifact or creature, just to get your wheels turning. The deal I made with Scott is everything I make has to go in my series, because otherwise I'm just wasting time drawing. I want to draw to make more art for the Ancient Ones. So this is like, Lotus is pretty popular in Magic, so I did my version of a Lotus, This was initially Ancestral Blade, which Jake probably knows what that card is. I don't. Yeah. You do, Dave. But initially it was just a blade in a forest, and then it turned into a bigger story because there's a 4-armed race in my series, so it's being protected by sort of a spirit. See, it's like a battle to the death to win the sword, essentially. It's an artifact.
Yeah. I was just saying, I think for me, I spent a lot of time recently looking at fantastic sculpts and pseudo like body horror kind of sculpts for miniatures, and saw this image. It was like, oh yeah, I would love to have a miniature of this guy.
If you make a miniature of this guy, please let me know. I'd like one.
Oh no, well, let's see. Maybe I will.
Yeah,
we'll let it go.
I mean, we should talk because I would like some miniatures of these characters. So
awesome. Yeah, that'd be good. But no.
To everyone saying this is me, if I could art, or when I hear people say I wish I could draw like this, it's just practice. Yep. Like, I suck at drawing, believe it or not. My thumbnails make no sense to anyone but me. It's just literally like a lot of it is just good photo bashing. I'm just really good at it, and a lot of it is just making sure you learn from that when you're drawing, right? If you're just tracing it, you won't learn shit from it, right? So when I say photo bashing, don't just do that. I'm using the photos to give me an idea of where things should be placed and kind of give me an idea of shape language. And I see shapes. I see all these weird shapes in my head. That's the way I draw. So,
right.
But again, it's just you might not be able to draw like this, but you will be able to draw the way you draw once you start doing it, if that makes sense. No. It's like when somebody says, I can't even draw a stick figure. And I'm like, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You're choosing not to. This is a helm in the series. Again, it's an artifact. I think like so the art. I don't know if I put the runestone in here, but if I did, this piece and the runestone, I think is what got me the current. I did a bunch of work for Magic recently that won't come out for a year, and a couple of those are closely related to artifacts. I mean, I think it's because I showed off this stuff to a specific individual that works over there. This thing is a haunted helmet. It's basically if you put it on, you're walking in a nightmare while the thing inside comes out.
Right.
So
Nice.
I just love it. I love the angle of the lighting.
Thanks. Yeah, the lighting is all hard for me.
Lit from the front or upper right, that kind of thing. Having it come from, it's a different angle. It's off screen. It's a
yeah.
It sets that shadow and that tone really differently.
So one of the cool things I learned early on with sci-fi specifically is you don't have to be. I'm not a. You don't have to. I'm not line decker, right? I'm not trying to paint this like glorious piece of a person sitting in a chair or something. With sci-fi pieces, the lighting essentially doesn't have to 100% come from one source. There can be multiple sources, right? And nobody ever really deep dives into that because it's just like, this is a cool sci-fi piece. And once I kind of embraced that, I was a little bit more comfortable with where I put my light sources, right? This thing is cool because the helmet part of it is, I initially, for my reference, I used the old school Flash helmet with the wings.
Right. Nice. That's cool.
You can kind of see it in the shape.
Yeah. In some of like,
but you got to use reference. That's the other thing. People who you could tell when people there was this group I was part of. This dude would always post and be like, "I drew this, no reference." Like it was like some point of pride, and I'd be like, "Yeah, man, we could tell." Like, like you can if you draw. So like here's an like the only people that can get away with stuff like that are people like Scott who have been drawing for like 40 fucking years, right?
Yeah.
So like he knows how to draw almost everything because he's drawn almost everything. If Scott said I drew without reference, I'd be like, yeah, man, this fucking looks great, you know?
Yeah.
But use reference. There's no crime against it, you know?
Absolutely.
So okay, the runestone. Yeah, so this is the other piece. So the helm and the runestone, I think, are the two pieces that got me. This thing is literally like a compass that I took apart and a watch. It's the same piece on top and bottom. It's just I changed it enough. So it's just like the hard part was getting the glass to look like it's got the little glow. The thing that Scott really liked is I used to just do repeated shapes around it back in the day. They would just go in a full circle and I'd be like, done. And I knew he was going to call me out on it. So this time I broke it up and made it different. Right. So those are the kind of things you learn, you know, over time, like move people's eyes around. Like it makes a good piece. Trying to get this thing to look like it's floating was kind of difficult for me, but I think I got there eventually. So
yeah, no, it looks cool. And yeah, on as I say, the glass work on here.
Yeah, that was tough to figure out, but because you're also taught not to do too much rim lighting, but you're like, but that's what you need, you know. Yeah. Again, sci-fi.
You got some bounce light as well under here. Yeah. From the background. Yep, very cool. So I've just finished putting together the art of volumes 13, 14, and 15. Volume 14 is Tim Marsh, and he does a lot of work with rim light and bounce light on his miniatures, depending on the miniatures. Yep. And I spent a bit of Sunday over at Brendan's place, Brendan who's in the chat, and I left the printout copy of that book there so that you can take a look at how it applies to miniatures or how those concepts apply to miniatures.
I would like to see that because lighting miniatures has always been a challenge for me.
Right. Yep. No worries. We'll make sure you get a copy.
Sure.
For sure. Next up.
Mirror gate.
Yeah, so dance party in the woods, stereo system. Love it.
Yeah. It's exactly what I use as a reference for two giant fucking speakers. People, so this is some of these pieces in book 2 were pieces that I made for Compile 2. Compile 1 is a whole clusterfuck that we don't need to talk about, but we can. Compile 2, if anyone was at Gen Con, there's a couple pieces that were on my wall that are also in Compile 2, because the deal I worked with them when I worked on that art was whatever I make for you guys, I'm using in my world too, because it was 8 months worth of work. So I'll give you guys a short version of Compile 1. Anyone who knows Compile 1, I worked 8 months on this game, and the 80 screwed me over. And
Here, I got you, Alan. So you don't get in trouble. I got you.
You got to be very specific. Don't say
I'll be very specific and very careful. So, for those of you who don't know, there is a sort of a mini game that comes in a little box. It's about this big. It's about, I would say, 5 inches by 5 inches by 6 inches. And
Sure.
the idea is that it's a cool card game. And the card game itself, you have different decks, and there's all these different colors, and each color represents a different thing. And what it really is in the game, like let's say I'm playing against Dave, we are essentially representing two AIs that are fighting with each other. So all of the cards are different programs, and you are basically playing different program cards to do stuff. It's a really cool game. The game itself is pretty solid. So Alan got signed to do all of the art for them and was working on it. And the person at the time was like, yep, everything looks great. Like, no problems. And they were kind of cranking through stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, listen, the deadline's coming up. We need everything. And he was like, okay, well, I wish you had told me ahead of time. And they're like, well, don't worry about it.
Here, let me. So what happened was they did. Let me tell this story because you're saying it wrong. I went to PAX U, and there was a bunch of stuff there that looked like my work, but wasn't my work. So I was just like, what's going on here? And the guy who worked on the game said, oh, we had to hire another guy to come in and finish stuff because you missed some deadlines. And I was like, what are you talking about? I had 3 specific deadlines, and I missed the early one. I missed by like a week, and that was handled, the first one. But like every other one, I was on top of my game. I was like, the next deadline's not for 2 months at least, right? PAX was in like November or December. I forget which one. So like my deadline was like 2 weeks away. It was 2 weeks away, and I had stuff done, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And I sent an email out to the AD saying what's going on. He sent an email back basically saying I stressed him out. I missed deadlines, blah, blah. It's very unprofessional. He shouldn't have sent it to the whole team, but he did, which I was like, cool. I'm going to take this to your boss. And luckily I know enough people in the industry who backed me up because I'm not some 2-bit artist who drops the ball. Like, I did my work, and I proved that I did 8 months worth of work. The artist they bought in he's been known to he's an art thief. I'm not going to name him, but you can go look up Compile 1 and get it. But he basically jacked my work, concepted off of it, and made art. And a lot of it is whatever, And I complained. I ran this up the ladder because at that time, Flat River Group owned Greater Than Games. That's a company I worked for. And on the next round of Compile 1, I get credit as concept artist because that's what they were like, it's already in print. What are we supposed to do? And I'm like, you got to give me some kind of credit. I did all this work for you guys, right?
Yep.
And this is BS. I was livid. And again, I know enough people in the industry who were like backing my play, got it handled with me. We solved it as best we could. And Flat River's been really, I will say to their credit, they've been really good about managing it and handling it. And then Compile 2 came out at Gen Con this year. It feels like it's more popular than Compile 1. And people came over to get cards signed from the set. Some people were like, we noticed that the stuff in 1 looks a little bit like your stuff. I'm like, yeah, because it is my stuff, bro. And what pissed me off is I put in 8 months worth of work ideating this thing to only have it pulled out from under me. And for a second I thought, oh, they're never going to use my work. And they sent a guy over to talk to me. He was looking at the wall and he's like, oh, this is wonderful work. I'm like, yeah, man, you're sitting on 24 of these illustrations. What are you doing? And then regarding that artist, I said, you can ask anyone in this room and they'll back me up. That guy legit jacked my work, and there's not much I can do about it beyond what's happening. I guess I have to take what I can get out of this, but I'm probably not doing any more board games after this because it was dang, that was kind of soul crushing after the amount of work I put into it,
I mean, there is a little bit of a silver lining. So I just stocked after hearing all this from Alan, we didn't bother carrying Compile at my store, but Compile 2 is now out. So I have a whole bunch of Compile 2 coming into the store, and Compile 2 is Allen is listed on it as the concept artist and the artist, and Compile 2, they're all his cards. So everything that's in it is really cool. We have that coming. And again, Compile 2 and Compile 1, like they're essentially both standalone games. You don't need to own. I mean, you can own both of them, but you don't need to. They're kind of their own thing. But we have that. But my favorite thing was that almost in like a little bit of balancing the karmic scales, as it were, after all this nonsense went down, and after all the people that were higher ups that made these decisions that led to this whole situation, that company doesn't exist anymore. So
it wasn't 100%.
Oh no, it wasn't.
You know,
it wasn't a direct correlation.
The thing was that so many stories came out about how after my story, after I started talking to people in the industry about what's happened to me, multiple people started speaking up against this art director and this company. And there were all these other stories where you're just like, no way. I wish I'd known this before, because I never would have worked with them. And yeah, that company got dissolved. I felt bad for about 5 minutes. Like, I remember I messaged Jake. I'm like, should I feel bad about this? And people were like, nope, you should not. They totally fucked you over, you know? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Why should I feel bad about these people? You know? That artist has tried to talk to me several times at shows where I'm just like, the last time I talked to him, I basically threatened him because I'm like, get away from me, man. Like,
step away.
Well, last time he came, he kept trying to tell me, I'm going to say this to you in a language you might understand, which is, you come over here again, I'm going to rock your teeth out of your mouth. Like, leave me alone. Like, do I need to get like a restraining order against you or something? You fucked up. You made a bad choice. You stole from an artist in the industry. Right? Yep. So, moving on. Compile 2, don't buy Compile 1. This is Bogdio. He is a type. So my series, the Keybinder, his name is Rohan Matthew. He is trying to find his dad on the edge of the Milky Way galaxy. He gets lost. He finds an alien cabal, and then he goes on a series of adventures to find his dad. He meets these guys. This guy is part of a group of people called the Sons of Orion, and they're basically, initially, when you meet them, they're a group of bounty hunters turned guardians, essentially. They're going to be the ones who have to protect the Keybinder. When you read book 2, you'll learn more about the Keybinders. There's 9 artifacts that build something called the World Machine, and 10 Keybinders. And Rohan is the key. He's the number 1 Keybinder that brings it all together, essentially. He's more powerful than he thinks he is at the moment. So,
right.
And this guy is the leader of the Sons of Orion. They all have all the Sons of Orion have sort of I don't know how you would call it, like an opening moment where they're just like, oh shit, I've been wasting my life. I should be doing this instead. I should be doing good, you know? So I don't want to call it coming to Jesus moment because I'm not religious. So, but you get what I mean. So yeah, Bogdio he's like off planet, hiding from everybody. This scene is he slays this giant serpent on his own. So that's how strong he is. He's not a monkey. Everyone keeps thinking he's a monkey for some reason.
He looks like Lion-O.
Yeah, he's based off Tigra, actually.
Nice. Oh, Tigra's the best one. He just had a whip, which was dumb.
Yeah, I was absolutely going to say Tiger, but
yeah, the amount of people are like, "How much for the Monkey King?" And you're like, "I don't have a Monkey King. What are you talking about? He doesn't even have a tail, bro." You know,
you're like, well, normally when you buy, my Tiger Man, this one's $60. If you buy the monkey one, it's $100.
Yeah. It's $100.
Sometimes we don't say anything. We're just like $60. You know, like, I mean, people see different things in the art, I guess. You know,
this again, this scheme, Heresy. If you're still in the chat, there, you can definitely use this scheme on one of your next minis.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Like most of the stuff that Heresy paints, it's all synthwave.
I'm gonna have to. He's not the guy that does the Space Marines that you sent me, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I shared his stuff on Instagram, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's cool stuff.
Speaking of Instagram, Alan, I linked to your Instagram in the notes down below, and there's also a link to the Ancient Ones website, so folks can go and check out all of these
nice
as well. Next up, another artifact.
So this is the Dagger of Return. So hang on, let me just type this in. So all my socials are under @Allen Panakal Art, except TikTok, which I don't really use, but some guy is squatting on it because he's a piece of shit.
Right.
And so if you look up the real Allen Panakal, I'm there on TikTok, which I usually only post videos of my booth. And then ancientones.net, because some dude is sitting on ancientones.com and wants like 50 grand for it or something. I'm like, it's not that important, man. Like Dagger Return is a cool piece because I play in an all artist D&D campaign, which is insane if you think about it, because it's 5 artists playing essentially, and our brains have just nothing but imagination. But my DM, she's super chill and she gives us all cool weapons. So this is my dagger. I play a halfling rogue that this dagger, he can throw it and it rematerializes into his hand. It doesn't fly back into his hand. It rematerializes. So I can keep running and it comes back. And everyone's like, oh, that's like Critical Role. I'm like, this has been around before Critical Role, right? Like Crit Role didn't come up with that, But yeah, so this is so with my DM, I basically messaged her one day and I said, can I work this into? I worked my character into the series. His name's Bastion. He is one of the Sons of Orion, and this is his primary weapon. It's a dagger. He likes daggers.
Nice.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, this is a cursed orb. In the series, it's like a relic of power. There is a character that will be in book 3. She's my pirate queen, which you haven't seen yet. I haven't revealed her, but she holds this piece here. In the D&D campaign, I stole this from something. My guy is an assassin class, but he also steals everything. And there was an orphanage. There was a halfling statue. There are all these statues, and the halfling was holding this. I stole it. I didn't realize it was an orphanage, and apparently the whole orphanage got wiped out because I took it. I didn't know this until I was halfway through the sea on a boat, and I don't know if I should feel bad about that because mistakes are made, But I can't get rid of it. If I throw it away, it keeps coming back to me. So that's why it's cursed. So,
much like the dagger.
Much like the dagger, things just keep coming back to me.
Yeah. Nice.
Morningstar is an important piece to me. It's in book 2. This version of it will be in book 2. This is a piece, where we're dealing with the pandemic. I stopped drawing for like 3 months and kind of went into like a depression spiral where I was just like, because I was dealing with a 1-year-old in the house. We were stuck in a condo. You couldn't really go anywhere because the world was like, don't come out here, you'll die, So I wasn't drawing for a while. And my friend Eli Manaya, who's a fantastic artist, and he also works for Magic, he was like, when was the last time you drew something? And I was like, I don't know. I lost track of time here. So he had me draw a spaceship. And this is a kit bash of like, you ever played Gradius and Super R-Type?
Yep.
Those are 2 separate games, okay? And so I kit bashed the ship to kind of make my own ship. And I threw it in. I made the background, which is just it's actually a shot. I think it's the Horsehead Nebula that I actually shot through a telescope.
Oh, cool.
And I brought that in, and then I made the ship. And then he was like, now give it put something there, like an asteroid or something, like it's coming out of something. So I started building these rocks, and then over like 2 or 3 weeks, we built this piece out. And then he was like, crop it down. And Morningstar is probably one of my most popular pieces. So kind of like jolted me out of that, get back to work, motherfucker. Like, what are you doing? like why are you just sitting around? What's going to save you right now is art, So
yeah, no, that's great. I just got to point out, Josh said that you're not a real villain until you've burned down an orphanage. Stealing candy from babies is so bush league.
I don't know if it burned down more otherwise. I think a lich actually took it over, but they might still be alive. They might be undead babies at this point.
They might be undead babies, yeah.
This picture this reminds me of like The Last Starfighter.
Yeah.
It has kind of that vibe. It always puts me in that like headspace.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I was trying to show like, like all that shit back there is like the stuff that this character was trying to leave behind, and then he's going exploring again. It's like, let's get back to it,
Yeah. No, that's great.
There is a sister piece I'm working on of a mothership coming from the other side, because this piece is so popular. If you see my stuff at shows, I have the giant medals that I sell, and I only make 10 of each. And I sold the last one at Gen Con to John Rogers of whatchamacallit. Why am I failing? Chessex.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So in book 1, you'll meet a character named Beldrune. He has a piece of the world machine, and he has planets do a test. This planet is being eradicated. If he deems a species is not intelligent enough to survive, he kills you all.
Oh wow.
If he deems you are intelligent enough to, he's got like an armada of like a mix of aliens essentially. It's mainly like join me or die.
Right.
And his goal is, he used to be there used to be a bunch of guardians that their job was to protect the world machine, and he used to be one of them, and he is now a baddie. So he's one of the baddies, not the big bad though.
This is what happens when there's a government shutdown.
Yeah.
There we go.
These are my I wanted to do elves, so I made some dark elf riders. This is one of the first pieces where I was learning how to kind of photo bash and kit bash animals and stuff together to make creatures. So this is my early attempt at making, these are like supposed to be dragons essentially. And I basically used a series of like lizards and Komodo dragons to build this guy.
It's a bit of there's Komodo dragon feel to the the arm and the shoulder area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Excellent. I love the there's kind of just the way that you've used the colors here. There's kind of a space, negative space.
Yeah, I wanted to show like the wings like are not attached essentially, because it's kind of like a sci-fi cyberpunk vibe. Like he uses those. They're part of him.
Yeah,
they're just not attached to him. And yeah, the negative space helps push that idea forward.
Yeah. But awesome.
Homeworld is so that's where you meet. This is where you hear about Bogdio. He's living off planet. What's cool about this is there's an earlier version of this piece I did where it was like greens and whites, and I was never 100% like happy with it. And I shelved it for about 3 years. And then again, during the pandemic, I just went back in and started reworking it, and it turned into this. That ship is cool because it's a kit bash of like hard drives and solo cups and welcome to kit bashing. You know, you build it out however you want, and then you just draw it in. So I wanted to do kind of like a John Harris, John Berkey style ship, if you know those two artists, which are two of my influences. So that's where I was aiming with that. And then the colors are just, you know, I wanted something that was poppier because he is on not a sad planet essentially. So
right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Ileana is a sorcerer. The runestone you saw earlier, she is the owner of the runestone, and it basically, she's a mute sorcerer. The runestone enhances all her abilities.
Right.
Her story is in book 2. This is an earlier piece where Scott wanted me to do. This is where now he's kind of pushing me to do better, like stances on the characters. The Bogdio piece, he was just kind of stoic and just standing there. That's easy to do. This piece, he's like, let's show some like power. You know,
right.
This was I got through it. This was hard to do because of the hands. Hands and faces are always going to be the hardest things to do.
Yeah.
But it's the thing people can relate with closely, and so if you don't have a face, it's really hard to sell a piece. So I had a Knight of Jupiter, one of my guardians. He was headless for the longest time, and once I put a head on him, he started selling more because people can relate to hands and faces. So
yeah, absolutely. Awesome.
So Sypha is also one of the sons of Orion. She is an angel. This piece was initially done for Origins, the year I was the guest of honor. It was supposed to be on like all their merch and t-shirts and stuff, and they ended up not using it. So I was like, I'm fucking keeping it then, you know. I'm not going to badmouth Origins, but it was really hard being a guest of honor when you're not acknowledged as a guest of honor. But you know, I took orders on the shirts. They ended up not using it. I ended up just keeping it for myself. She's popular. At some point, you know, I thought about switching out I had like essentially dice moving around in the background there. I had thought about moving that out, but no one seems to care. So I'm just like, you know, it's a world of like, move forward to the next piece. If no one's overly judgy about it, you're fine. You know, like it's done. So
yeah, excellent.
Mangala is
This is one of my favorites. I love this one.
So what's cool about this piece is technically when you work with values, you want to make sure your values aren't so close together. If
Yep.
you were to turn this into a grayscale, the reds and greens are like that. They're not that far apart. You want something like this, right? To give it depth.
Yep.
But if I leave it alone, your eyes are actually moving all over the damn place on this piece on
Yep.
purpose, right? So it's also one of my most popular pieces. This is a specific world where the traveler goes to. It's one of the many off worlds where he's looking for his dad. Essentially, it was just a harbor piece I wanted to do. So
yeah, that's awesome. I think looking at the way that you've placed the basically
crescent moons. Yeah,
I was going to say the tonal elements here. So you've got the red, but this is a very dark, deep red against lighter green, and again the lighter red, brighter, more saturated red is against the darker green, desaturated green. So you're still getting that separation, that contrast.
It's very faint. Yeah, it's just enough to do what you want it to do. But if I had made like that castle purple, for example,
right,
it would really be stark, right? So
okay, yeah.
But I was working. So a lot of my world building stuff, I work with another artist named Andrew Murray, who, if you know his series, is called City of Gateway. It was just the board game just got displayed at Essen. Dominic Mayer, who's another fantastic artist and graphic designer, did all the layouts and graphic design work for it. Dominic's work, Jake, it's on the card cases from. Did you
Oh yeah, the dragons and the knights.
And stuff. Yeah, that's Dominic's work. So Sean, when I was working with him I've worked with Sean over a number of years in world building better. So like he helped me get to the right points of my story. He never tells you what to do. He always just asks more questions so you get to that aha moment on your own.
Right.
So this piece, when he saw it, he was just like, leave it alone, man. Like the colors are working, the world building aside, the colors on this piece are great. But yeah, a lot of my stories, Sean would, like, early on, he would be like, why is this? He never says, why did you do this? He'd be like, so this character's doing that and this character's doing that. What's happening with this character? And then you'd be like, oh, I don't know. That doesn't make sense now, right? Or like, he also, the world machine, which is like the MacGuffin, essentially. I would try to figure out what it does. I kind of have ideas on what it should do, but he was the first person to say, you never have to reveal that.
Absolutely.
Right. He's like, you never have to reveal, like, pieces of it do specific things. Like, Beldrun's piece can destroy fucking planets.
Yep.
Just eradicate them. Right. So that's one little tidbit of information, know.
It's that part of the story as you go through, like, okay, you're not in a situation where you're going, okay, these are definitely the good guys and they're trying to build a thing that's going to save the universe, or these are definitely the bad guys who are going to build a thing that destroys the universe. You don't know.
Yeah.
So there's that tension all the way through. Yeah. Right. If you reveal it, you lose.
Well, it's like the best example was like, when he was talking to me, he said, like, I think it's the Maltese Falcon. Like, that's a MacGuffin in the movie. You don't know why it's important. It's just there and everybody wants it, Yep. I don't remember that movie that well, but I'm pretty sure they never tell you the importance of it. So,
what else do we have?
Merrick. So she's in book 2, but she's actually part of the Pirate Queen's ship. This character is another character that I played. She's an artificer in another artist campaign for Spelljammer. But again, I brought her into this world. She's a cursed fae. She's got a cursed blunderbuss, and then that's our ship. I didn't know what a Spelljammer looks like. So in my head, I was like, it must just be a pirate ship in space, right? That sounds right.
I mean, it can be.
Right. Yeah. So I drew this, and a bunch of people were like, this is not what a Spelljammer looks like. I'm like, cool. Why don't you draw it then? So
I do I do like the one sail to rule them all up there with the
it actually says don't fuck with us in Elvish. Which I loved. I was like, I'm putting that in there. So,
Right.
but this piece was cool because again, now I'm working on pieces with Scott where there's some movement. So she's kind of moving. He likes my sneakers, I think, more than anything in this piece, which I was like, great. I'm glad I put all this work into everything else, like,
Yeah.
but
You gotta
she
have
was,
solid kicks. So.
dude, those shoes came in again. For those shoes, I literally just shot my own feet, from a angle shot. So
Yeah, that's great.
this is an early piece. It's called the Tree of Ardalore. In my world, there's hundreds of trees that have like either some kind of energy or power or knowledge. There's 9. It was 9 core trees as far as you're concerned at the moment. The Tree of Ardalore is a tree of it's a knowledge base. It's a tree of knowledge. That's why I showed that kind of grid, like going in, kind of like Tron. There's a couple other trees that I've finished. There's a Tree of Harmony and there's a Tree of Divination and stuff. But this was the first tree I did, and the series there's a bunch of portals that you jump through to take you to certain points, like Stargates. But to get to the Tree of Ardalore, you have to go through a specific portal that's guarded by essentially witches. They're like the witches were characters that were created similar to Menzo Berenzon and the Matron Mothers from Forgotten Realms. If you've read Forgotten Realms,
Okay.
It's an Underdark Drow city.
Yes, an Underdark Drow city.
Dave had that look like what? So I was like,
yeah,
okay,
I saw it on his face. But basically, it has a bunch of Drow matron mothers or Drow queens that are in charge of it all. And so I built this world kind of similar to that concept. There's a bunch of matron mothers. 2 of them are going to turn bad and basically hire out Baeldrune and a bunch of baddies, but they're in charge of protecting specific portals. So those are at risk at the moment, basically.
Right.
Because this is a knowledge base.
I think this one's the Tree of Divination.
Yeah, this is the Tree of Divination. It's kind of like a well of wishes. Like you can see there's patronages that come here and people ask for things, and depending on who you are or what you're doing, that tree may or may not acknowledge your wish. So think of it like a genie, but it's also not easy to get to. It's way off planet. It's way out of, like, there's a spaceship in there for a reason, right? There's only specific ways to get to it. So this piece was fun to do because it's literally a tree at the park out here. I shot it from multiple angles, and like I said, I a lot of my stuff I shoot my own photographs if I can't find. I mean, I don't own a spaceship, so sometimes I kit bash. But this was fun because I had to come up with the water, and then to give the idea of how big this tree is. So that's when Sean was like, you don't even have to draw people, right? It's just little shapes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great.
Thanks.
Fantastic. Well, I think that might have been the last of the images for the Ancient Ones. And then I snagged a few of the booth shots.
Oh yeah, so my booth, yeah. So I didn't show you any of my old booth shots, but this is from Gen Con the year after the pandemic when they finally brought us all back. There was only room for so in 2021 they gave us an option. You can either show up in 2021 or wait till 2022. And a bunch of us were like, I need money. I'm going to show up, So this was my booth. Each of us, they had these like angled booths. So like Alex Dos Diaz is actually on the back of that wall behind me, who's also on the back wall by Jake, the samurai.
This guy.
Yep. And so 3 of us they built these like pods. So I think it was like only 21 artists showed up, I believe. And since we took a risk and we came to this show in 2021, we all automatically got in 2022.
Right.
Like the Gen Con art show is a juried process.
Wow.
So I was juried in, and you could tell like some of my pieces aren't as bright because I'm still kind of like figuring out how to print this properly, and they look good. They're not great, Yeah. And they get brighter because I start figuring out how to do things differently.
But you can see that this is on the metal, right?
Yeah, so those are 20 by 30. They're big.
Right.
They're huge.
Yeah, with the overhead lights. The overhead lights are what do it. So if you have one in your house, just buy one of those little light kits. You can get them like relatively inexpensive, and then it makes.
Yeah, so these are my old pro panel lights. I hate those things. They were so stressful to set up. Yeah. So this is my bigger booth now. I basically jumped out of the art show because the juried in process was stressing me out. And then so this booth basically, Jason Engel is next to me. Steve Argyle is on the other side. They're both really popular magic artists. And Drew Baker is behind me. And he does a lot of stuff for like LucasArts. And they offered me this space. It's 10 by 20. So it's huge. And it's not cheap. But the benefit is I can display pretty much everything that I have on my walls and on the table. So this was my first year in the vendor hall versus art show. And like you could see the art show banner in the top right corner there. So it's
Right.
we're not that far from the art show. They call us Troublemaker Island, mainly because I don't know, we've done nothing bad, but I guess that's the nickname we've earned. So, but yeah, so like you can see my lights got I got better lighting. Basically, they're silicon lightworks. They're smaller, they're lighter, they're bright. Everything feels much better, you know.
Yeah.
10 by 20 is not cheap. This booth cost me $5,000.
Wow.
Yeah, so I have to make, Gen Con's 4 days. I have to make $5,000 before I'm, and the booth costs at least. But I've been at this long enough where at Gen Con I can usually make that cost day one, which is,
Awesome.
I'm thankful for it,
Yeah, that's great.
So I just sent you so this is just this year's Gen Con. So like now I've changed that one the corner here. You see the two mats. I put out my magic mats. I was signing for the first time, which is kind of a cool feeling to have people come by and ask you to sign the cards. So yeah,
Right. These ones here.
Yep. And you can see all the prints are getting brighter. The metal's getting brighter because I figured out I found better printers. I figured out what I need to do to make the work pop more and put it on display. So
yeah, excellent. And then I think this was Dragon Con.
This is Dragon Con this year. Yeah. So next year's Dragon Con, I'll be in the vendor hall versus the art show. But this year's Dragon Con, I had my assistants working it, and I didn't bring as much as there's a lot of stuff for sale, but we didn't put as much on display because we were just like, the wall doesn't really matter. Here's a funny thing. I sold 2 of those big metals still, but in my head, I was like, nobody ever buys big metal at Dragon Con. It never happens. I usually sell, there's one collector. So I usually sell one. I'm in the art show, which is two blocks away from here. It's in the Hyatt. If you've ever been to Dragon Con, it's in 2 separate buildings.
Yep.
So usually there's one collector that buys from me at the art show. And if I'm lucky, I might sell one more to somebody. But this year, a guy bought 2 pieces from me at Dragon Con.
Cool.
Yeah, he bought the Alpha Centauri, which is that red piece with the exploding planet. And I believe he bought the Tree of Divination. I can't remember what the second piece was, but he bought them both. And I was just like, yeah, you must have money because that's expensive.
Right.
Alan, what's the one that's right behind the books? The one that looks like a bunch of blue and black clouds?
So that's called the Ice Queen. She is one of the pieces I did for Compile 2, and she is in book 3.
I was like, I haven't seen that one. That one's dope.
Yeah, so there's a castle. There's like an ice lake. I'll send it to you later. It's basically like a frozen lake, and then there's like a castle, and it's on top.
How many skate decks did you sell?
At Dragon Con, we sold I think 12.
Wow,
that's crazy.
Yeah. I had to drop the cost. I realized I think we had it initially. Brian and I had it at Gen Con our first year at I think it was $120. If you bought more, you get a discount. Nobody really balked at that. And then we dropped it down into $100, and that seemed to be okay. But I was less I dropped it down to $80 because then I'm just I just kind of want to move the boards. So I'm sitting on 100 boards, 25 of each. And at $80, no one seems to care. They're just yeah, I'll buy a board. And I was like, okay. And one guy's daughter, I believe, he bought it for me at Gen Con. She's skating on it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's her first board, which is kind of
Nice.
neat. Yeah.
Cool. And the Morningstar piece just works so well on a deck.
Yeah, that works really well on the deck for sure. Most people buy and hang it, and I've only had 1 or 2 people who are like, can I skate on this? I'm like, yes, it's Canadian Maplewood, man. Knock yourself out. Not literally.
Yeah. Nice. Excellent. I think that was the, yep. That's the last one there. But,
so now, Alan, if you want to hang out now, we're going to go through some minis from our community page.
Yep, for sure.
We see some cool stuff. Okay. I think we've got quite a few to check out. So let me just get that sorted. I need to shop. There we go. Click.
Oh yeah, and before we get to this, anybody who's new to the show, make sure you guys do all the stuff you're supposed to do. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Share this wherever. I'm sure that Alan will put this up on his channel so that his viewers will get to look through all this stuff and see that as well. We're gonna work something out, but I think in the spring we're gonna bring Alan out to my store to do a signing and stuff. So,
awesome! That'd be very cool. Excellent. So here we go. Jumping in. So all of these photos are from the Build Paint Play community Facebook page. So if you're not a member, jump on there, click join group, and somebody will let you in. You're about to share your work. So Aaron Provost has been working on this Star Phantoms army for a couple of months. These are all metal Terminators. So these are probably ones this like mid 90s.
If he wants any more, I will send him some.
Awesome. Aaron, you heard that here first. In touch with Jake. But yeah, looking cool. There's a bit more work to go on the basing and getting those black rims looking good. Next up, Brendan Bell. Brendan, as I mentioned, has been working on more Trench Crusade stuff. There's some Trench Pilgrim stuff that he's painting up.
Is that his Pilgrim with an anti-material rifle?
I think it's a punt gun.
Okay.
So the Trench Pilgrim is going to have a punt gun, which is just a big, heavy rifle, like very heavy, but looking cool. And I mentioned that we did some work on a piece. We worked on his Shrine Anchorite, and
I like those chains.
Yeah, they look cool. Initially, everything was very silver and everything was very similar. So I just popped over and we talked about some different ways to break up the different elements. And then Sunday evening and yesterday, Brendan was working through it and sending photos like this with the circles around them. So this part here and this part here, we were talking about it for a while, but
the biggest thing I found to help to break up a silhouette when you have a model that like particularly think like a knight wearing plate mail.
Yeah,
he's just all silver. So like the easiest way I think to break that up is after you get everything to the place where you like it and you've like done your edges and your highlights and your washes and stuff, I will then go back and I will go crazy with different color washes to show different treatments in different areas. So like everything from like, the thighs down, I'll do various stages of wash. So it's like he's splashed mud all over himself. I might do like a little bit of blood and stuff on like one hand, or like a smear, just to like change up the textures. So like the silver is sort of the palette, and then I'm adding stuff to it.
Yep. Nice.
I like that pumpkin head.
Yep. Cal's been painting up some stuff for Halloween.
Nice.
This pumpkin head and this it's kind of a wild
it's like a floating spirit guy or like a specter.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It's got skeletal arms, but has a bit of a banshee kind of feel, doesn't it?
Nice.
But yeah.
I mean, that pumpkin's got no arms.
Yeah, that's true. Excellent. Buddy Chopper, Pat Lewis.
Oh my God, this is an original Terminator.
Yeah, yep. So Pat sends me a text and says, what did the original Terminators look like? And I was like, well, which original are you talking about? But he was at his mom's place and he found these in the attic. And I think he has 5 of these. And he's going to be painting them up for his basically for his Dark Angels for Heresy, I think.
I like how he put it on like the smallest base he could find.
I know it's like hanging off the edge.
Like, barely on the base.
They're originally on this side.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
They're on 28s?
Well, they would have been on 25s. Yeah.
Oh my god.
They didn't make anything bigger than 25 until like 96 or something like that.
Yeah, that's true. Everything was on like a 25 millimeter slaughter base.
25 millimeter round or a square
Mhm.
base or anything bigger. But yeah, these sort of turtleback Terminators were pretty crazy. But
It's cool. It's cool looking.
Yeah, super cool that you found that, Chopper, and thanks for sharing it.
That's so funny.
Really cool.
Oh,
More
damn.
Terminators.
So Alan, if Dave, go back one.
Yep. Oh, sorry.
So that's the first Terminator they ever did, and this is from
Oh,
This
sorry.
is a new one.
This would have been
like 87.
87. Yeah.
And then the next one. This is a new Terminator, and this model was released like a week ago.
Yep.
This thing's insane. This was a
It's
week
on,
ago,
like-
and this dude already painted it up.
Yeah,
Well,
Chris is super quick.
Jake's
He got it early.
exaggerating the week, but it's
It's
it is
relatively soon. It came out it was either Saturday or last Saturday.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, Chris is a powerhouse painter for sure.
Yeah,
But yeah, he's done a beautiful job on this.
this thing is so cool. Like the coolest thing about this guy is the only part of him that's still original is his left eye. That's in the lore. Like he said, all of his body's been replaced by
Oh,
cybernetics.
damn. Okay.
I do like that they gave him like a Japanese style subo, so he has the big armored club.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely brutal. But yeah, looking great there, Chris.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
This is great. Yeah.
More Terminators.
Nice.
Chris Jones is painting up these Terminators for his Legio Custodes.
I forget what pattern they are. That's not Alaris. That's the other one.
It's the it's the 30K version with the twinned Volkite pistols, which look great. But yeah, beautiful work there, Chris.
Nice work.
Loving it. Cliff Edders is
Cliff jumping into the little trench crusade.
French Crusade there. Yeah, having some fun with that. So definitely there's a new Antioch. Got the lieutenant in the middle. 3 heavy infantry, heavy mechanized infantry, which is great. And
You must be running them as like was it Alba Assault Detachment? I think they let you get 3.
okay. I think like the basic you can get 3.
Who's the guy reading the book?
I thought you could only do 2, but if you put your lieutenant in army, you can get 3. I think if you do the regular one, I think you can only run 2. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know the rules that well.
The guy reading the book is the Trench Cleric.
Oh, great.
So he's got the Bible open.
He's the trench guide.
Yep.
He's not paying attention.
No. But yeah, looking good. Aquilon's Aquilon pattern. The
Aquilon pattern. Okay, there you go.
pattern is the Terminators previously. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing these painted up, Cliff. Nice. Dan Osborne. So Dan sent me.
Damn.
So this is the warband that you played against, Jake.
Yep.
So yeah, these are the Heretic Legion, the Naval Raiders.
Yeah.
Heretic Naval Raiders. So this is from Bizarre Cellar Miniatures. Cellar as in basement kind of thing. But yeah, so there's a sub-faction of the Heretic Legion, which is the Naval Raiders. These are all sort of third-party sculpted, which is cool.
They all look like deep sea divers from like the 60s. Like I think they're super cool. And then like the 3 big dudes that he has, like the guy on the right and the guy in the back, they look like the big suits they look like Big Daddy from BioShock.
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing like deep sea hard suits. And then his artillery witch has like 3 sea mines circling around her. Like I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah. So definitely cool. But yeah, Bizarre Cellar Miniatures, and also I think the artillery witch might be from Daka. So check them out on My Manufactory if you're interested. But yeah, they look really cool. I love that that sort of teal and red. It's looking great.
Yeah, they were super cool. He didn't run all these against me. He ran think 13 of these guys. The two guys, the guy in the back left corner, he didn't run him.
Yep.
And the guy that's behind the cleric with like the head in his hand, you can see the tentacles coming up like out of his neck. There's like this weird guy that's behind. He didn't run him either. And then I think he ran a couple less of the soldier dudes, but no, he definitely outnumbered me. He outnumbered me by I think 4 or 5 models.
Yep. Cal's in the chat there. He says, I hope they do more Trench Crusade in plastics by Archon Studios, as I'll go for those. Yeah, definitely check out the Trench Crusade website.
They made some big announcements.
Big announcement about plastic.
Is plastics just more affordable? Or
More
just easier to produce?
Easier.
It's easier. It's better to work with. Like,
Okay.
Like right now, you can get models in various types of plastic. Hips plastic is what everybody wants. That's high impact polypropylene.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then you've got resin, and there's like different kinds of resin, and then you've got like there's metal minis, and but yeah, plastic is I think the easiest to work with, and for anybody who kit bashes, you can take any plastic kit and you can put plastic glue on it and stick it to any other plastic kit, assuming they're all Hips plastic. But when you mess with like resin's a pain because it's like toxic and you got to be really careful with it.
Oh, I know. Trust me.
It's fragile. And then like metal's cool, but like if the connection points aren't good, it falls apart. So plastic is just kind of universally seen as like the easiest product to work with. But unfortunately, it's the most expensive one to produce as a company. So
to set up it. Initial setup.
The setup costs are crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
But beautiful stuff there, Dan. Glad you got to run them. Even more Trench Crusade. So we had Terminators and Trench Crusade. T is the letter of the day. Darren McGregor painted up this line of Jabir earlier in the year, but he said he entered in a painting competition in his local store, and somebody took some great photos, so he was really excited by this photo, which is why he sent it through. But yeah, beautiful stuff there, Darren. Looks great. That helmet looks really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Next up, Josh Potter. Josh didn't get all of his orcs painted for October. But he was going to follow in Dave Baker from Trenchworks sort of footsteps, where Dave pulls out his skeleton regiment every October and paints for sort of Halloween. Josh is going to do the same with these guys.
That is a lot of orcs.
That's a lot of orcs, yeah.
I do like in the top right corner, he has the old hexagon orc flesh wash bottle that apparently still has some life left.
Right.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah.
Just up.
Alan, that paint pot has got to be from like the mid 90s.
Yeah, mid to late 90s.
Nice.
Actually, no, it could be early 90s.
Yeah.
I was still in high school.
Yeah, crazy. But nice stuff there, Josh. Glad you're going to have a project for next year already. Justin McCoy posted this again. He's put the finishing touches on and has sent it off to. He was working on this as a commission, so he has sent it off to the owner now.
Nice. Charlie Brown.
Yep.
I'm bummed he didn't put like the black zigzag across his t-shirt.
Right. Well, I don't think he really wanted to go for that. Totally buy into the Charlie Brown look, but yeah. But no, beautiful stuff there, Justin.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah, looks great. Next up, Kelly Rowe.
Nice.
So this is Exodus.
Very good, Dave.
Yes. I remembered to read the caption.
Oh, for a second there, I was like, he knows the character.
This is where anytime Kelly or somebody else sends in superheroes, I'm always like, who is this, Dave? And usually he tells me the actor or actress who plays them.
Oh yeah, I've watched your show enough times to see him do that.
Yeah. As soon as I saw this, I was like, he's in trouble. Nobody plays this guy.
Yep. Excellent. Is that so? This character hasn't been in the movie.
Not in I think he's been in some of the animated stuff, but he hasn't been in any of the live action stuff.
Right. Okay. But no, Kelly's done a beautiful job here. Looks fantastic. I love
Yeah,
that.
that's nice.
Just the brightness of that explosion. Is,
So Jake, you're telling me I should just start painting up the Marvel United minis and just submit one at a
Yeah,
time
each week
randomly?
submit a couple so Dave has to guess who they are.
totally fine. I've got to learn somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that is one way to learn.
Yep.
This is great.
Actually, if you want to get your comic book club to all sort of sign up and submit, you don't. That way, you don't have to do it every week. You can have a rotating.
Oh,
Alternate.
I mean, I'm not like Miles is the only one in our group was crazy enough to paint. He was at one point, I think he was painting one mini a week from that. It's like 150 minis in the original set. I think
It's going to take him 3 years.
He's got like, I think he did finish 75 of them already.
Oh wow,
That's pretty good.
nice.
Yeah. But we've been busy, so.
It's yeah.
Kelly did an awesome work. Like the values in the purple on like his like undersuit is really really good, and then all the different tones he has on like the gold and the brass on his like whole like headpiece thing. But I love that magenta.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The sort of the very deep.
I just like that color. That color is really good.
Yeah. But yeah, beautiful. I think
the shadows and highlights on this piece are awesome.
Yeah. There's some basically this bunch of elements of this scheme that I'm going to be using on my Knights of Avarice. Kind of looks the white.
This was your test model?
No.
Kelly's Exodus was your test model.
Kelly's Exodus was not my test model. No.
All right.
But no, beautiful work there, Kelly. It looks great. Next up, Scott says I'm painting a Marvel United kid Loki right now.
Yep.
Way past 150 minis in the full game now. It's around 25 boxes, maybe more.
Dude, they're a ton of fun. I mean, Dave and I get to mess with them every year at San Diego, and I have a huge collection myself. Like, they're really fun. They're really really nice models to work with. Like as a new painter, I think you get a lot more real estate to kind of play with. And because they're superheroes, most superheroes have pretty straightforward costumes.
Yep.
So it's classic kind of like color design when they did them. Most of the classic heroes are 2 colors, 3 colors, maybe 4 colors.
Yeah.
Like even Exodus, being as complicated as he is, he's really only 4 colors. He's purple, magenta, gold, and white. That's his colors.
That's it. But yeah. Excellent. Next up, Luis is doing some more work. I've been doing some more work on the Raven Guard Contemptor, which is looking great.
Such a great kit. Yeah, that's the actual Raven Guard Contemptor torso.
Also,
he found it online somewhere. Some guy was selling it on eBay, and he snapped it up because it's out of print.
Yep.
So
he's probably got like Kit Basham arms on this guy or something.
So Luis magnetizes everything. So he has he's painting it all separately, and then he'll magnetize it all together.
Yep. Luis does a lot of Gundam painting as well. So a lot of sub assemblies.
Yeah. Lots of sub assemblies, like super clean.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, looking great. Nice work.
Yeah, I dig that.
Next up, Mark Maxey.
Nice little Nurgle tree action.
Yeah, it's looking great there. Those sort of the teeth. Yeah, looking awesome, and just the way that he's used the putty to sort of fill these gaps in, pull it all together.
Yeah,
really natural.
Like all the tongues coming out of the tree. That's I don't want to. I don't like that tree, but
yeah. And then this is the.
That's so good.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it does look awesome, doesn't it?
Mark, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, looking beautiful. Yes. How do you take a tree to the dentist? You don't.
That tree's like someone made a house out of the rest of me.
Yeah. You have to bring the dentist to the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful work there, Mark. Looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks great.
Nice.
I dig that.
Next up.
Oh no! There we go. The throne room.
Yep. Mick Palazzi. Mick's been when he posted this, he said he hasn't painted miniature for 3 months. Just recently moved to Tasmania, so just getting settled again, and painted this up on the commission. The 3D printed piece. I'm not sure who the creator is, but yeah, he definitely obviously had a lot of fun painting this up.
That's so cool. Obviously, this draws pretty heavily from the The Adrian Smith illustration.
Yeah, very definitely. But yeah, looking great. Particularly love the Eye of Horus there in the center.
Yeah.
Excellent work.
It looks pretty small. I mean, if that's his keyboard in the background, it's an interesting scale.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he said, is it this one? No, it might have been somebody else's piece. But yeah, no, it looks great, Mick. Very nice.
Awesome, though.
Definitely go to the Facebook group, check it out, and ask Mick those questions. Like,
more photos and stuff.
Yeah, cool. Nathan Sorensen.
Oh, that's cool.
Painting up some more terrain.
Some Dark Oath.
Age of Sigmar Dark Earth terrain, which looks fantastic. And of course, he always likes to do cool sort of set piece pictures of them. But here's the sort of the set of terrain that he's painted up for his table.
Nice.
I have a feeling I have that mat, that same gaming mat. But it looks cool. But yeah, just really, really nice stuff. And of course, anytime you can have enormous sort of skulls.
I do like go back to the other picture.
Yep.
I do like I like this terrain because it's playable, especially like those hill pieces, because there's like tiers, so you can put your guys on them without them like, rolling off or tipping over or whatever. I always like terrain that's like usable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it looks great there, Nathan. I think the color work that you've so the color variations that you got in the stone there is beautiful. You can see it around like this outcropping piece, as well, and in around there. Nice, excellent stuff. Next up, Patrick Keith.
Nice.
So this is Patrick's Drop Sensible. I think he was working on this sort of work in progress last week. But again, yeah, looking really good.
I like the bright lime interior to the cockpit.
Yeah, the industrial interior.
Yeah.
Get changed. But I particularly love the rusting, sort of the rusty work, texture work on the
on the vents, on the heat grills.
Yeah, so I mean that's a sort of historical thing from like tanks in World War II. If they were painted, that paint would peel off very quickly because those areas would get very hot, and then exposed to the elements, they'd rust pretty quickly. But yeah, looking great there, Patrick. It was awesome. And that cracked basing as well. We saw a couple of episodes ago. Nice. And Patrick's also doing some cool conversion work. Adding some long suppressors there. So turning these intercessors into eliminators.
Very cool. And he did the old school like paper with glue.
Yep.
Glue and water to make the capes and stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah. Beautiful work there, Patrick.
Very nice.
Very, very cool. Scott.
All right, Dave, you know who this is?
Is this is it Aurora Singh?
It's Aura Singh, but yeah, I'll give it to you.
Aura.
We'll give it to him.
Yeah.
That was pretty impressive. I'll give him that one.
But she's in you see her in the pod race. Is that right? Pod race team?
Yeah, she's like one of the random people they show like in the background, kind of. Yeah.
But yeah, excellent work on this one, Scott.
Very cool.
Yeah.
He did a great job with the base too, which is the bases for these are so simple. It's just like it's a circle with lines on it, and if you don't do something to it, they read really boring. This is cool. He's got like a light effect on them and like the splotches and
yeah, great texture.
It's very subtle, but it makes a huge difference.
Yep, absolutely. And that's the bluish tint in the gray, and that green is just all working really well against that orange.
Yeah,
as it does with her skin there.
Yeah,
beautiful work, Scott. Looks great. And Scott also painted up Mace Windu.
Nice.
Yeah, he said it takes a lot of time, but when you can do it right, it just looks awesome. So I think he has like 3 or 4 more shots of Mace in the Facebook group. So definitely go and check those out. Some different angles there that just show that glow perfectly.
The saber is really what makes or breaks all the Star Wars models.
Yeah.
Like if you can do even like a very simple light effect and you know how to paint the blade, like he and Chris both understand that in order to really sell it, you always have to have it more white near the handle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like as long as you can get that, it looks great. I mean, if you don't and you're just like, I'm gonna paint it red or blue or purple or whatever, like that's fine. But if you understand how to do it, like you're like, it's not a red line, it is literally a light source that he's holding. So it makes a huge difference. So great work, Scott. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to this when it's done.
Yep. Yeah, Scott says in the chat, that's not done. The old Mace, not nearly. Lots more to do. The light isn't good enough. I'm looking forward to a little bit more of the purple up around his sort of cheekbones, his ear. But yeah, it's even though it's not done, it still looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, nice work, Scott. And then I think this might be the last one. We've got Sean. Sean Gleason's been painting up some
Blood Bowl.
So we've got a Blood Bowl halfling, a couple of dwarves, and is it a Blood Bowl Sylvaneth model, or is it?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. That looks like a tree spite, but I don't know if it's
like a special character. But yeah, got loads.
I mean,
cool...
it probably is. I would assume it's a special character, but
yeah, cool swarm of bees.
Yeah, all the bees and the 2 hives. That's pretty rad.
Yeah. But yeah, looking great there, Sean. Nice one. And there we go. Okay. So next week, we've got Pete Hairston on the show. Pete is, I think, arriving back home tonight from his trip to Belgium, where he played in the Trench Crusade European Championship.
Nice.
He won an award. He won a prize. There, we'll let him tell you all about it next week, which is super cool. We've got some cool photos that he took. But yeah, we'll be able to talk about the things he learned and check out the, I guess the format of the tournament that they played in and how he felt about it and all that sort of stuff. So definitely cool. That'll be next week.
All right.
Okay.
Alan, anything you want to tell the people about? What do you got coming up next? What's next on the agenda for you? Shows, projects, things like that.
I have book 2, hopefully going to print. I'll talk to Dave about this later. And then I have an RPG, which I was going to also take to print, but I might be working a deal with another company who might publish it. So I'll have more information. I'm meeting with them in the middle of November. So if that meeting goes well, they'll publish it and I can just kick back and let them do the work essentially. Cause I've got the RPG done. I demoed it at PAX U last year. It's built in 5.5. But nobody likes 5.5. What did he say? You've got strong Dave Cross vibes tonight. Yep. What does that mean?
I don't know.
The comedian David Cross.
Oh, okay. So basically the people that want to take over were like, can you build it in our rule set? Which is actually not a bad rule set. It's kind of a combo of 5.5 and Daggerheart, which I like both of those rule sets. So I'm going to do a playthrough with them. If I like it, one way or another, I'd like to work with this company because I've known them for a number of years. They're good dudes. And I feel like they can really bring the RPG to market for me versus me trying to kickstart it on my own. And then magic-wise, I've got more magic. Hopefully within a year, if not sooner, I've got 6 cards coming out.
Nice.
And then I'm working currently on 2 more cards. So it's kind of nice because now they're like, oh, this guy can actually draw this way. So they're finding places to use my style, which is cool,
Excellent.
And I'll keep taking that work till it runs out. Other than that, I'm still talking to, I guess I can say I'm talking to Steamforge about maybe making miniatures with my stuff, but I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be a thing or not, but we're still negotiating another contract for something they want me to work on. So I think it all depends on if they use me there. So, and yeah, again, all my socials, if you look for me in socials under Allen Panakal Art, except for TikTok.
Accepted. Excellent.
I usually only post on I posted it again. Whoops, that's bad. Hang on. I don't know why it's combining it, but
right.
Stupid. Here, I can fix that. There's socials, there's a website. I usually post on Instagram, Blue Sky. I barely post anywhere else because fuck Twitter. But on Ancient Ones, if you go there, there's a sign up. I have a mailing list where I usually post updated. So like if you follow me on my mailing list, I usually post a new image about once a month with a new story that goes with that image, along with all the new stuff that's coming out. So
awesome. So yeah, the link to ancientones.net is down in the notes below, as is the link to Alan's Instagram. Definitely go and check those.
Yeah, other than that, thanks for having me on the show. It's been fun.
Yeah, no worries, man. I was awesome to catch up and hang out for a few when we get done, and we'll chat. But
sure. Yeah.
As to everybody else, thank you guys so much for being here. We appreciate everybody on to hang out with us live. Make sure you do all the stuff, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that those good things. Huge thanks to Arya Painter for sponsoring us again. I know we're getting ready for PAX Unplugged. I know Dave and I will both be there. Alan might be there. We're going to try to twist his arm, get him to come. But if anybody needs anything, you guys know what to do. You can reach out to us. Make sure you post stuff in the community Facebook page. We'll show off some more models next week. Anything else, Dave?
Thanks to the Army Painter again for being our sponsor and for having us part of the factory team. Definitely super cool. We will see you all soon.
Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe out there, and do not forget to build, paint, play.
Yeah.
Shut up and sit down.